the nation. For 3 years, every Friday afternoon at 8:30, we have had a class for you. That's almost 160 classes that we've offered every Friday, same time, on top of the other classes that we do. But this is the landmark class. You're supposed to share this with your friends and invite them on. Because here, you can really learn the doctrine of SOT, and we will answer any question that y'all have. Take advantage of the Friday Sabbath class.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Yahawah ba'ashim Yahawashi Barakatham. Yahawah ba'ashim Yahawashi Shamaratham. My name is Brother Shadrach. I'm coming to y'all with a lesson on we're gonna be tried in the fire, but we gotta trust in the Most High God. Okay.
All praise to the Most High. Shalom, shalom.
I'm with Brother Shadrach. Salaki, Brother Aharon, and shalom, we're gonna bring out this lesson in sincerity and truth. We're gonna need a KJV Bible, Apocrypha, and a pen and a pad to write the precepts down. All right. Come.
Hey,
come. Save, brothers on the call. Save the precepts for the end of the lesson. I have a lot of reading, and I want to get through it all. But we do want to hear y'all precepts. Save them for the end, please. All right. Hey. Make sure y'all mute y'all phones and stay in order this class. All right. Con.
Hey, so like your brothers and sisters in the chat, follow on with us during the lesson. Any other questions? Call in. The number is pinned on the screen.
Right.
At the end of this class, we will be doing a Q&A. If y'all were on the call last week, I don't want to establish something new. It's a question and answering. We're gonna be doing that again this today. So we're gonna let y'all know when that starts. Any questions you have, call in. Shalom. Like and share. Let everybody know that we on.
And shalom again, Israel. We're going to go ahead and start off with the book of Sirach, chapter 2. We're going to start from the top.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. Read. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Like he's telling us to prepare our soul for temptation. How do you do such things? You build your spirit up, prayer, fasting, and you arm yourself with the word. The whole armor of God, pursuant to the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and 11. Now, you don't have to get that, but arm yourself with the word, arm yourself with the scriptures, man. That's how you can endure the temptation. Yahawah was at a mound, and Satan was tempting him.
That's right.
And what he was using the Bible.
That's right.
Satan was trying to beguile him with the scriptures, but he was like, it's not like that. You're not supposed to tempt the Most High God. We don't live with bread alone, right?
That's right.
We got to arm ourselves with the scriptures. Keep reading.
Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
You set your heart aright by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments in the faith. And you constantly enduring what? Keeping those things until the end, pursuant to the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 13. If you endure to the end, you get salvation. I think the verse is about to say that too.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Okay, Con.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right.
That's the salvation right
there. That's the salvation right there.
What
is making haste in time of trouble? Right? So give me the book of Psalms, chapter 118 and 8. And I'm gonna get
book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 8.
Yeah, come.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
See, this is what you're doing when you're making haste. You're putting confidence in yourself. You're not stopping and be like, you're not stopping and praying. When you in that state, but you making haste and you putting your confidence in yourself, right? Hey, mute your phones. Con.
Somebody watching the water.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5, and it reads, "Trust in Yahawah with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding."
That's
so
right.
When you making haste in your time of trouble, you leaning on your own understanding. Well, I can help myself. Or how I'm gonna get myself out of this situation? Like, Yahawah, help me in my time of need. The water soldier Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah for your generous donation.
Yeah, the water, sort of Uriah. The water.
All right, the water. Shoot, we're gonna keep going, keep reading in Sirach.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 4.
Right.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee,
Right.
take cheerfully.
Take cheerfully. You taking these trials and tribulation cheerfully. Why? The Most High is dealing with you, and He building you up in the spirit. Right. I got a piece of the 2 Timothy.
Okay.
2 Timothy 2 and 3.
Book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Come.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Meshach Yahawah.
So we enduring as a good soldier, checking these trials cheerfully. What is building us up in this spiritual warfare, right? Come, we don't got to keep going. Keep going in there. Sorry, right.
Come and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Come, keep going.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Man, gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. These trials and these obstacles, right, are what is the trials that acceptable men go about. Moses went through trials and tribulation. That's an acceptable man. We about to go into a bunch of our ancestors that went through fiery trials that built them up, gave them more peace, more patience, wisdom, like maturity, man. It made them help them deny their flesh more, man.
That's right.
A lot of our forefathers went through those things, right? And you can skip that. Skip down to verse 10.
I'm just go to verse 10. Book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old, right, and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? Man, this is a question that we asking. Did any of our forefathers who trusted in the Most High in their time of need, was they forsaken? All right, we're gonna go into these accounts of our forefathers, man, and see how they got built up in these trials, got built up with these obstacles, and how they came out. Right, give me the book of Job, chapter 8 and 8. That's right.
You got to get that?
I'm right here. Right here.
Okay.
The book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
Right. Hey, he's saying inquire of the former age, because we're gonna soak up game for those things, right? That's like a prudent, wise man coming to you say, "Oh my young buck, don't put your money in that. Put it in this." And you getting richer? Why? Because he been here for a little bit. These scriptures right here, they been through these things. It's not new under the sun. Those trials that you're going through, you think they knew? Brothers been going through that, and they wrote them in the book and taught you how to go about it, trusting in the Most High when you brought into a lower state. Hey, the water soldier, Kawal, Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah. Thank you for your generous donation.
Hey,
brother.
the water, Kawal. Hope y'all making it to Passover, man. The water.
Come feast with us, y'all.
Hey, I got a precept. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths.
Right.
Where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls.
Go ahead, you can break that down if you want. So, that good way, you enduring until the end.
That's right.
Keeping the commandments until the very end. Right?
Hey, but it goes on to say, but they said we will not walk therein.
Man,
that's what we are in the situation we in right now, man.
Right, exactly.
Because we don't want to seek the old paths. We want to seek the ways of this world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations.
That's right.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Man, they're gonna tell us, man. They're gonna put us on game. Oh, the water Hezekiah reacts. Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah, the water Jamal, New Orleans, Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah. Come to Passover. Come celebrate with us, man.
That's right.
We having Passover March 25th.
At even.
Email sonsoftheotherisraelites@gmail.com for the address, man. We're not gonna give it out on the internet. We'll just email us and then we'll give it to you. All right. Go ahead and give me Genesis chapter 37. We're gonna start at the top. This is where the reading begins.
This is where the reading begins.
This is where the reading begins.
All right, my brother. The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger in the land of Canaan.
Keep going.
These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah.
Hey, start right there. Start right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, brothers, prospects. Who are the sons of Zilpah and Bilhah?
Hey, anybody there? Anybody know?
Man, they don't know, man.
I know the soldiers should know because I don't want to taught this class.
Come.
I don't want. Who's that,
brother?
Who says
the first Salakia? Who are you, brother?
He's shy now.
Oh,
all right, the second Salakia.
Second Salakia. There you go, man. All right. Who are the sons?
Was Dan and Natalia.
Right.
And Zilpah was Gad and Asher.
That's right. That's right. And Elroy the Levite, he got it too.
That's right.
Hey, good work, brother. Good work, brother. He's studious, man. Y'all gotta learn who y'all family is. Hey, keep reading.
His father's wives, and Joseph brought unto his father their evil report.
The water Tanayah, Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahushua. Thank you for your generous donation. Come feast with us. Keep going.
Book of Genesis, chapter 37 and verse 3.
Read.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age.
All right.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
All right.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
Mute your phone. Mute your phones.
Con. So yeah, con. So let me read 3 again.
Con, go ahead. No, read 4.
Read 4. Okay. Yeah. And when his brethren saw their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
Man, they getting envious.
That's right.
Man, it's a dangerous thing. Keep going.
And could not speak peaceably unto him.
Man, I said evil eye towards their own brother.
Yeah, con.
Keep reading on that.
Hey, you see how the law, even before the law was written,
right?
You can kind of see the workings of it throughout the scriptures,
right?
Even before that,
right?
All right. So 37 and 6, and he said unto them, "Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood up upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf."
Man, keep reading.
And his brethren said to him, "Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us?" And they hated him yet the more.
And we don't like you in the first place because you our dad's favorite. But now you're over here saying that we gonna bow down to you. Man, they furious now. They really don't like him. Keep going. That's verse 9.
And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
Right.
Verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, "Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me." And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, "What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth?"
Man, keep reading.
And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same.
Right. So, a lot of brothers and sisters in this truth, when they get in, they bringing out prophecies, they bringing out the scriptures, and what they family starting to hate them. They family starting to have an ill eye to them. Don't go around Haran. It's kind of weird. He's not doing birthdays. He's not doing no more feast days and nothing. And a lot of people back off. I can't do this no more. I ain't got no support. And they start getting depressed and sinking in. They don't want to do the truth no more. Now they going back into their wickedness. But hey, we're gonna see what happens to Joseph, man. After his family, his brothers didn't like him, and now his father but his father watched. Let's see this prophecy, man. Let's see what's going on.
Bugged out me real quick when I read this, right?
What?
Was this wise to tell his brothers this dream? But what I'm saying is, right, the Most High put it on his spirit for a reason.
For a reason.
Because everything we talked about, you have to go through the fire. Everything that we do was led by the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For us to get to the point that we got to get to.
Right.
So even though it might not seem wise, it was the Most High's wisdom.
Right.
Because his thoughts is not our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? His plans is just way deeper than ours. All right, so we're going
to 18.
Verse 18.
Let's go on down.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near,
that's they saw Joseph. Keep going.
Even before they came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him.
This is Joseph's brothers conspiring to slay him. The Most High dealing with you, and our father don't like it. He like you more than them, and it's burning them. Now they trying to figure out how we're gonna kill this man. How we gonna kill our own brother? And that's just wickedness, man. That spirit is on them for a reason, right? Like the brother was saying. Keep reading. We're gonna read all the way to verse 36.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, and verse 19. And they said one to another, "Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him. And we shall see what will become of his dream."
Man, hey, that's wicked.
That's wicked.
Now see what's he gonna dream now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that be your own brothers though. Conspiring against you. There's some agents.
Yeah. You got.
But that's some things you gotta endure. You gotta endure your family not liking you. You gotta endure other brothers that's not in the truth. Because we got evil eye towards our brothers. We killing each other on the street. You got to be ready to endure that. Endure being on the street corners and preaching this word and having your own brothers try to come against you and stop you. Oh, don't listen to them brothers. They teaching foolishness, man. Because we teaching not to kiss up to the white man and that he's going into slavery for the things that he done to our forefathers. And so are the other nations. We are teaching that. And our brothers are coming against us we having more struggle teaching our people than we do. I don't want was talking to some heathen. They were standing and listening. Yeah. Let that not be Jake.
No, man.
They get proud. I think what you talking about? And they get puffed up and now they want to fight.
That's what they talk about in Ezekiel. If you came to any other people, they would have listened.
They would have. Exactly. All right, keep reading.
All right, Genesis chapter 37 and verse 21.
All right.
And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, "Let us not kill him." And Reuben said unto them, "Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness.
Right.
And lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands."
Right. So Reuben's trying to save him. He gonna keep going.
To deliver him to his father again.
He gonna get him out the pit. After they put him in the pit, he gonna come back and get him and bring him back to their dad. Right. Keep going.
And it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat.
Right.
His coat of many colors that was on him.
Keep going.
And they took him and cast him into a pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it.
So they just put him in the pit. They took his jacket that his father gave him, and they put him in the pit. Keep reading.
Why they take that jacket? Because they was covered.
That's the spirit that was in. Envious and covetous. They wanted his spot. That's how the heathen are to you. They want to be you so bad. But those are the higher ups. They don't. Why are they so great?
Hey.
Why are they so great? Why is the Most High dealing with them and such? Seeing this great awakening and seeing us raise up to be a people. Why aren't they being niggas no more?
Hey, our style, our clothes, our music, our women,
right? Everything
that we have,
right?
They're covetous.
Exactly.
They want us to degrade ourselves and put us down and have a dark thought of ourselves. And the whole time they want to steal what we have.
They want to be us, right?
Melanin costs what? We was talking about. Somebody was talking about that the other day.
Some odd $1 million.
Is more than probably most of the materials on the earth.
Right.
Melanin is worth. The value of it is sky high.
Man.
All right, let's go to verse 25.
Con.
And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked. And behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content.
Man, we're gonna get he gonna be put in the hands of the Ishmaelites, like the the sub-Saharan slave trade.
Hey, listen, Judah remembered the brotherly covenant, not to kill his brother.
Right.
I mean, he sold him. They still sold him in slavery.
Hey, these brothers is wicked right now,
and that's us.
They off.
That's us. When you're teaching your kids to twerk on the gram,
right.
Or you selling your kids into slavery.
Right.
You teaching them the ways to keep Christmas,
exactly,
to keep Thanksgiving. You selling them into institutionalized slavery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. To kiss up to the white man, raising your son and your daughters in reverse roles.
Yeah.
That's slavery.
Yeah, you can be whatever you want to be. That's mental, spiritual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes physical because you're cutting off your rod sometimes.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? This is a form of slavery. This is all the things that Babylon in spiritual Egypt brings to us.
Right. Exactly. Salaki, the water, Abaya, Yahawah, Shadrach, the
water.
Salaki, the water for your generous donation. Keep on.
Come. Verse 28. We're in Genesis chapter 37 and verse 28.
Right.
Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt.
Man, keep reading.
And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes.
And Reuben was sad. Keep reading.
And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and now whither shall I go?
Man, keep reading. Keep going. We're gonna read all the way to 32.
And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no.
Keep reading.
And he knew it and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces.
So the brothers didn't like him through envy. They sold him into slavery and faked his death. Let's put this in. We Joseph. We've been put into slavery. Our family didn't like us. That's one of the Kemetic people. That's one of their favorite scoffs. Your God put you in slavery. How many of us can say we recognize that we were slaves in Egypt and we continue to have faith in the Most High? Because some brothers, that's a stumbling block. Some brothers stop at that. Oh, we were slaves in Egypt. I don't want to worship a God that does that. Do y'all worship a God that? Yes, we worship a God that sent us to slavery because we were disobedient.
That's right.
That's what because we have discipline. We're not about to sit here and do what we want and expect the Most High God to bless us and bless us and bless us, and we smoking weed. We sleeping with whoever we want. We doing this, that, and the third like the world does, and we not doing what the Most High God told us to do. That's a punishment. Fathers love their obedient children. Right?
Hey,
you got a precept?
Was you going to Baruch?
What?
Baruch 4 and 6.
Lie.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Yeah. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath. He will deliver it unto the enemies.
Okay, that's something too high for them to understand. Them Egyptologists, they not thinking like that, and a lot of brothers don't deal with the Most High God. That's a stumbling block to them. But let's see with that, let's see if Joseph has that same spirit. You want to keep reading on that?
Nah, we good.
Okay. We're gonna see if Joseph has that same spirit. We're gonna start at Genesis chapter 39. We're gonna start at 7. So Joseph is. We're not gonna read. We're gonna skip around. Joseph was sold into slavery in Egypt. the Pharaoh had made him ruler of all his possessions, the things in his house and things in his field.
Overseer.
He overseer, right?
Mhm.
He put him in a position. You know, our brothers be put in positions like that, and what they become coons, like on life. Tell about the gun line, boss.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
saying?
about?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you know,
Con.
you know, brothers in the Congress and things like that. They coons, man. They in the boule. They shucking and jiving for the white man for anything for their gifts. Let's see if the spirit is on.
What that dude from Django say? What's that nigga over there doing on that?
Right on that horse.
On that
Right. See,
Yeah.
they get that Samuel spirit. But no, let's see if Joseph got that. You know, my people don't like me. They put me into slavery. You know, my brothers don't like me. Shoot, I'm in this high position. Let's see the spirit on him. Let's see if he to hell with God's laws. Let's see if he's doing that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 39 and verse 1.
7.
Verse 7. It's like and it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph.
Amen.
And she said, lie with me. But he refused.
What?
And said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. And then there is none greater in this house than I.
Right.
Neither have he kept back anything from me.
Right.
But thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?
So he's still in the spirit.
Mhm.
How can I do this great sin against the Most High God? You know, he's still keeping that faith,
Hey,
even though he was put in these lower states, man.
How do you know it was a sin against the Most High God?
How he knows a sin against the Most High God? His brother is still in the spirit. He's not throwing a fit. He's not woe is me. No, the brother is still keeping the commandments, saying,
Hey,
I'm not going to do this wickedness.
Mhm.
This is the sin against God.
Hey, this is an example of how the commandments were before.
Right.
Because Moses wasn't on the scene yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But hey, he said he's not going to do this wickedness against God. You know, keep reading. We're gonna read all the way to 23.
Verse 10. And it came to pass as she spake to Joseph day by day,
Man.
that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her.
Say she begging this man.
Trying to get it.
Man.
And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business. And there was none of the men of the house within.
Like they were home alone.
And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled,
right,
and got him out.
Keep going.
And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he has brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me and cry with a loud voice.
So, hey, the scriptures say when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. It's not going to be no cakewalk. This woman begging this man to lie with her, he's telling her no. She grabbed his garment and set him up. And let's see what her husband does.
Come. In verse 15, and it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out.
Right.
Verse 16, and she laid up his garment by her until the Lord came home.
Right.
And she spoke unto him according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out.
Man, keep going.
And it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spoke unto him, saying, after this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled.
Right.
And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison.
So, hey, the Pharaoh had put him in prison because his woman lied against him, and he believed her. Right. So he cast him into prison. Right. Keep reading.
Verse 21. But the Lord was with Joseph,
right,
and showed him mercy,
right,
and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
Right. Keep going.
And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it.
So the brother still got status. He in prison now. You know, let's see if he get that coon spirit there.
Hey, the Most High blessing him.
Right. He keeps on blessing him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joseph isn't crying. No, we're gonna see. because now, his brother sold him into slavery, and now he's going into prison. You know what I mean? We're going to see how his spirit, let's see, will he still trust in the Most High through these tribulations, through these trials? Will he still continue to be for the Most High? You know what I mean? We're gonna go to 40. We're gonna start at verse 8. So he's in prison. The Pharaoh put his chief butler and his chief baker in prison too. They just dream dreams and they're vexed in their spirit. They don't know the interpretation, so they ask Joseph, right? Read verse 8. See what he says.
The book of Genesis, chapter 40 and verse 8.
Right.
And they said unto him, we have dreamed a dream,
right?
And there is no interpreter of it.
Right.
And Joseph said unto them, do not interpretations belong to God?
Do they belong to who?
Belong to God.
The brother's spirit is still intact. He's still with the Most High. The Most High is still dealing with him. He's not throwing away. I can't serve Yahawah no more. All of these things are happening to me, and I can't seem to get up. That's our people. They seem to can't get up, and now they be like, why God? Why God? Job called that a foolish charge, something like that. Because you're not supposed to do that. Why God? Why are you doing this to me? He's not sitting there like that. He's still trusting in the Most High. He's trusting the process. He's trying, this building him up. He's going through that, right? For the Most High. We go to jump to 12.
Book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 12. And Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it.
Right.
The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thee unto thy place.
Right.
And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou was his butler. But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh.
So he's saying, after this happened, remember me. Make mention to me to Pharaoh and what I did. Right? He told the chief baker that go ahead.
Just reading on that.
Yeah.
Make mention of me unto Pharaoh and bring me out of this house. Verse 15. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews,
right.
And here also have I done nothing, that they should put me into the dungeon.
Right. He falsely accused, like they do unto us today.
Verse 16. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets of my head. On my head.
Right.
And in the uttermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head.
Right.
And Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof.
Right.
The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. Verse 20. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday,
right,
that he made a feast unto all his servants.
Right, it's wicked.
And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
Right.
And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again.
Right.
And he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them.
But what happened?
Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph.
So Joseph's still locked up. He's still in the pen. He's not forgetting. He may be looking up, saying, "Oh, all right, he forgot about it." All right. So he's sold into slavery, and now he's in prison, and now he's still gonna be in prison for something that he didn't do. Right.
The water, brother Joel. The water.
How about Shemel Shabrakatah? So Joseph is going through it. Some scholars say he was in there for 10, 12 years. I think he was in there for 12 years.
I'm not sure about that, but the fact of the matter is, whatever he went through, the Most High had his back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was still put over the other prisoners in the prison.
Right. We about to see what happens. So now the Pharaoh dreamed a dream, right? And the chief butler said, "Oh, it was a Hebrew that interpreted my dream."
Interpreted dreams.
Right. He's a Hebrew that interpreted my dream. Maybe he could do the same for you.
Hey, Shalakia.
Go ahead.
Just to touch on that point a little bit further back, we just going through the Pharaoh's birthday. Anytime you're dealing with the birthday, you're dealing with someone's death, or something happens in the scripture. So this is another example that why we don't celebrate birthdays.
Well, okay, come.
God.
That's the truth. Chapter 41 and verse 15.
The book of
Salaki.
no, sorry, verse 14.
Confident.
That's what you want?
No, 15.
All right,
so now the Pharaoh dreamed the dream, and then he told him it's a Hebrew that's in prison who interpreted my dream, and it came to pass. Go ahead to 15. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 15.
Read.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret.
Right.
And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret.
He heard about him. Keep going.
And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Hey, it's not of me. The Most High is going to give you an answer, man.
Mm-hmm.
He still has this spirit on him that he's trusting in the Most High through all of these ups and downs that he's going through. Right. Through all of these ups and downs that he's going through, what? He's still trusting in him. He's still enduring. That's whatever's happening to him, he's enduring it. And he's going through it. And it's the Most High. It's not me. He's not coming out proud. He's coming out humble. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
Yeah.
The
17.
Go to verse
25.
No. We can go to verse 29.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 29. Behold.
Salaki. So now the Pharaoh gave him. The Pharaoh told him the dream. He interpreted it. It's going to be 7 years of plenty.
7 years of famine.
Right, and 7 years of famine.
Mm-hmm.
So now he about to tell him what he think he should do. Keep going.
Verse 29. Behold, there comes 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt.
Right.
And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine.
Right.
And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land.
Keep going.
And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following.
Nobody gonna remember that 7 years before, because the 7 years after it is gonna be worse.
Wipe everything out.
Right. Keep going.
For it shall be very grievous.
Right.
And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice.
Right.
It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass.
So it's surely gonna come to pass. Keep reading.
Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
Keep going.
Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years.
Right.
And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of the Pharaoh.
Yeah, he's giving wisdom right now. Keep going.
And let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be for store in the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine.
Come. Right, keep going.
Verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants.
Right.
And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
A man in the Spirit of God is,
Mm-hmm.
and who y'all think he gonna choose, man? Keep reading.
Verse 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
Yeah, he's now he's saying, hey, you're that man that the Most High is with, discreet and wise, that you were just talking about, that's going to carry out this plan. And now what's going to happen? Joseph is now about to be lifted up after what? All of those years of what? Being in prison, being sold into slavery, being hated by his brothers, them conspiring to kill him, all of those trials, all those obstacles that he had to go to. Now what? He's about to receive the reward of the Most High. He was set on high above. When he came into captivity, when he was in prison, but now because he endured all of that, those trials, all of that fire that the Most High put in his place. Now what's going to happen to him? Keep reading.
Verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled.
Man,
only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
Wait, only person that's going to be greater than you is me.
That's right.
So he's second to the king right now.
Mm-hmm.
In this captivity, but in spirit, He's above the Pharaoh. He's a heathen.
Yeah.
But in the Pharaoh's kingdom, he's second. He said, "What you only person that's gonna be greater than you is me." Keep reading.
Precept.
Go ahead.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yeah.
But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them.
That's the spirit right there. No torment is he going through that, and what he's increased in that latter end. Right? Like a lot of our brothers that's enduring this trials, these tribulation that we're going through today. On the latter end, what's gonna happen? You're gonna receive what? The crown. You know, like it talks about in Second Ezra, man. You want to keep going on your precept?
No.
Okay, kind. All right. So, all right, kind. So we're gonna go to the book of Genesis, chapter 42. Verse 1. So now, it was remember about that prophecy in the beginning, you know, the dream that he had of his brothers coming to him and bowing down to him. We're gonna see if that came to pass, because that it can be symbolic for something. You can. Well, start at verse 5.
The book of Genesis, chapter 42 and verse 5.
This is in the time of the 7 years of famine. Keep reading.
And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came.
So the plan that Joseph had to store up food on the 7 years of plenty, so you can have food for the 7 years of famine, it was a great success. People was coming from all over Egypt to buy food and corn. Jacob heard about it. Israel heard about it and sent his sons where? To Egypt to get corn. He said, "What y'all doing sitting around? Go get food so we won't die." Right? And now this is what's about to happen.
Because it wasn't not just in the land of Egypt.
Right? The famine was everywhere. That's why they were all coming to Egypt to buy what was stored up in that 7 years of plenty.
That's right. Verse 6. And Joseph was the governor over the land.
Right.
And it was that sold to all the people of the land.
Right. Keep going. And
Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth.
A prophecy had came to pass, man.
Right there.
They came and they bowed themselves to the earth. What do y'all think now of those prophecies that's prophesied about Israel? Enduring to the end and what? Receiving the crown, receiving dominion over the nations?
Man.
You know, what y'all think about that?
Man.
This brother endured to the end, all that hardness that he went through. And now the prophecies is coming to pass. Now, what more about us, man?
Hey.
Isaiah 60. We getting the oil for joy for mourning, man. The garment of praise for continual heaviness. That's the gospel right there, man.
Hey.
Those prophecies are surely going to come to pass. We're going to bring them out later. We're going to hold that in. But these prophecies is going to come to pass.
Can't wait till Isaiah 14, 1 and 2.
Hey, don't bring that out.
Nah, I ain't going to bring that
up.
Where we at?
We're going to go, give me the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 4. The stuff is going to come to pass, but y'all got to be ready. Y'all have to endure to the end for that. Right?
Psalms 37.
Y'all have to wait patiently. Yeah, 37 and 4. Y'all got to wait patiently for that. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 4.
Right?
Delight thyself also in the Lord.
Delight yourself in the Lord. When you come to serve the Lord, temptation. So that's coming with it. So delight in that. Keep going.
And he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Right. Keep going. Dominion. You know, the promises that come, you enduring, you're going to get that. If you make the Most High your delight. Keep reading.
That's right. Commit thy way unto the Lord.
Right.
Trust also in him.
That's what Joseph did. He was trusting in the Most High. All through all of that he went through, he was trusting in the Most High. Where he was put second to the king. The prophecy that about his brothers and his mother and his father coming to bow upon him, that came to pass. Right? That can be us, Israel. That could be us.
You gotta finish this
up. Keep going.
Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
He shall bring it to pass. That's right. And he did that for Joseph. And he's gonna do that for us. You know, least we endure to the end. Hopefully us. Right?
Hey, I say you gotta believe. This is talking about trust, right? Delight thyself in the Lord. Have faith in the Most High.
Right.
And you gotta believe that everything that he say must come to pass. It must come to pass.
It must.
The Most High is not a God where he shall lie.
Right.
You know, not a man where he shall lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that he say has to come to pass. That should be one of our foundations of your belief,
right,
of your faith.
That these prophecies is going to come to pass.
That's right.
Give me the book of Job, chapter 1. We're gonna read chapter 1 and verse 2. All right.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 2.
It's another brother that has some trials. Go ahead and read that.
And there was born unto him 7 sons,
All right,
and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east.
Oh, you skipped verse 1.
You said 1 and 2.
No, we're gonna read chapter 1 and chapter 2.
Chapter 1 and chapter 2. Oh, okay. Shalakia. I think the brother said.
Salakia.
All right, the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. Right. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job.
Right.
And that man was perfect and upright and one that feared God.
Keeping the commandments and did what?
And eschewed evil.
So he dismissing evil and keeping the commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother read before verse 3, verse 2 and 3. He's the richest man in Uz too. So the brother got substance.
I just said Uz in the east.
In the east. In the east. The brother right here is rich and he keeping the commandments.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to Job?
Verse 4.
Right. And
his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Hey, it's another birthday.
Hey, that's what it sounds like to me. Some brothers say his day. Oh, it's just his day, brother. What does that mean?
Hey, that sounds like a birthday to me.
That's what it sounds like to be.
His day, like, oh, that's why people are like, oh, it's my day today.
You know, and we try to be practical here. So you know what I'm saying? We it doesn't specifically say birthday, but that's how it kind of reads. So
right,
you look at it like that.
When else you gonna have a feast and gather your brothers and sisters? Yeah. Talk about my day.
It just seems like it just seems like it goes together.
Sure.
All right, so it said, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feastings was gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
Right.
For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continue.
Because they putting themselves in front of the Most High.
Sound like a birthday.
They putting themselves in front of the Most High. Their brothers and sisters are putting them in front of the Most High.
That's right.
Giving, essentially it's worship and praise. Happy birthday to
you. Singing, yeah.
That's worship and praise.
Worship and praise, it is.
It's your day, they drinking and doing all types of fun.
Happy birthday. But it's facts though. They teach you that and they make it seem like it's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the brother is right. He's bringing out something strong, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's singing songs, man, to you on your day.
Right. That sounds like idolatry.
That's exactly what it is.
That's why Job is making supplication for his sons and daughters. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And it was so, the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent. Oh, no, we read this already. Verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, right. And Satan came also among them.
Right. Wait, yeah. Who was with him?
And Satan.
Satan was among. So it's not no battle between Jesus and Satan. I remember, I never forget when I was little, man. My mom was watching this thing. It's like a play, and this pastor got trapped in hell, and the devil, he was like, I'm about to leave. He tried to walk out, and the devil did it, and like lightning was coming out of his fingers, and then Jesus came down, and they was having like a powers battle.
Oh, really?
That's how the Christian church portrayed it, man. They was shooting lightning out their fingertips, and that's not how the Most High God rolled. Satan is obedient to the Most High God.
Hey, you know what that sound like? That sound like Star Wars, the
right.
dark side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it sounds like. Cartoons, man.
Yeah.
But no, the Satan is obedient to the Most High God. The Most High God not gonna create something that he can't control. What that sound like?
Hey, well, Isaiah 45:7 says, I form the light and create darkness.
Hey, he did that.
I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all things.
Yahawah does all things, man. So that's why, we about to read this account and see how everything rolled, how the order of it actually is. It's no false balance, it's not no, Satan controlling the world. Nah,
He rebelled, and there's a war in heaven.
And war in
he's
heaven.
fighting against God. And ain't none of that.
ain't none of that, man. Yahawah is in supreme control. His will is done.
That's right.
He killed and make Salaki. Go ahead. We'll read Salaki.
All right, the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan,
Right.
Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth,
Right.
and from walking up and down in it.
Man, so you see he content. Because a part of coming to serve the Lord is preparing your soul for that temptation. For him to come. He's walking to and fro. Oh, okay. Oh, the water, sister Kayla. Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shashamarata. Thank you for your generous. Kalea, so I can thank you for your generous donation. Come feast with us. He walking to and from the sea. Oh, that brother's weakness is winning. We're gonna put this one in front of him and see what's gonna work. No, he asking of the Most High. Can I tempt your servant Aharon? And the Most High, what's the Most High guidance?
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Have you considered my servant Job? Keep reading.
So his whole the brother brought a good point. Our own brothers is catching what the brother's saying. The whole point of him doing is tempting people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bringing all of this stuff out. And the Most High knows his job.
And through these trials, you being built up. The things that I used to stumble at when I first got in the truth, I laugh at now. Why I do that?
I ain't even looking at the blunt.
Right, exactly. I'm over here, smoking, watching Sakari. The priest Alazar, like, I gotta put the blunt down, no smoking. And I'm like,
damn, got it in my hand.
Gotta
put it down. I gotta put it down. You can't tarry, man.
Right, exactly. But hey, that's what we getting into.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
These temptations. Go ahead.
We start verse 8.
Right.
Book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Right.
That there is none like him in the earth, and perfect and upright man,
right?
One that feareth God and escheweth evil.
He's telling you exactly what they told you in the beginning. This man he's keeping all the commandments. He's being righteous and dismissing all evil, man. Have you considered him to tempt? Keep reading.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Does Job fear God for naught? Does he fear you for nothing?
Hey, didn't you just say that? Oh no, isn't he rich? Isn't he the richest man in us? Mm-hmm. I mean, in the East.
You blessed him.
Keep reading. He gonna say that.
Verse 10. Has not thou made an hedge about him?
Right. You put the angel of the Lord is protecting him.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
And about his house?
Man, everything he has. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what it says. And about all that he hath on every side? That thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
He said, this is the only reason why Job is for you. Hey, Yahawah, this is the only reason. He not fearing you for no reason.
That's sweet, yeah.
And he already blessed him. So hey, of course he's gonna fear. He's gonna thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for all of this flock I got. Thank you for this massive home I have. Thanks, God. Thank you, Yahawah. Thank you for making me the richest man in the East with all the substance I have. Of course he's going. That's what Satan said. Of course he's going to be like that. But go ahead. Let's read on.
Verse 11. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he had, and he will curse thee to thy face.
So, Satan is proposing that after you take this, after you hit him with this, hit him with this fire, and he gonna fold. That's what Satan is telling you. Hit him with these trials, and he's gonna denounce you. Wow. He's gonna curse you to your face. Satan's bold, man. Satan is bold.
How many of us today? You know what I'm saying?
I would go ask that. Hey, read it first. Read it first, then I'll ask. Then you can ask.
Verse 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand.
Hey, Yahawah is calling the shots. Satan, all right, you can everything he has, you got. Take it all, but don't touch him. And what is Satan gonna do? He's gonna listen to the Most High God. He's not. we're gonna see. Salaki.
So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
Right?
And there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house.
Right. Another birthday situation. Go ahead.
And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding besides them.
Right?
And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away.
Man, take his flock. Keep reading.
Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
Right?
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Keep going.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and have burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Keep reading.
Man, fire.
Man, fire the Most High God.
What's going on?
Hey,
Yeah, Most High Allah.
that Most High God,
Man, listen.
keep going.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
Kind. Keep reading.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another.
Man,
Gotta pause there for a second.
it's another messenger coming up, and Job is getting hit.
Hey, some brothers is getting hit just like this.
Just like this.
One after another. Like I can't get a break.
Right.
Most High, what's going on? I can't get a break.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
It was 18. Start of 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons, thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men.
Man.
And they are dead.
Oh, man.
And I only am escaped alone to tell you.
And Israel, take notes. What did Job do?
Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground
And did what?
and worshiped.
And worshiped God, man. How many of us can say that we can get hit like this from all angles and sides? With all we got, you lost everything. Can you say you can rip your clothes and start worshiping the Most High God?
Brothers be ready to quit.
Brothers be ready to quit. All right, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to lose everything, man, and still be worshiping the Most High, still endure. Us as a people have lost everything. Our heritage, our homeland, everything that the Most High God has blessed us with was taken away, man. Mute your phone.
Mute your phones.
That's Israel right there. Everything was taken away. Instead of faulting or speaking foolishly, like chapter 2 is about to tell us, you're speaking foolishly, man. Instead of doing that, praise the Most High, worship the Most High. When you brought to the lower state, that the water Yahawah for not killing me. I got in a car accident, boom. The water Yahawah for not killing me. You know what I mean? Instead of, why God, why you gotta dip my car? I'm already late on no, the water Most High God for not killing me. You gotta thank the Most High. You gotta start worshiping the Most High in these situations. Showing him that even though you are going through these trials, even though you're going through these tribulations, you're enduring. You're enjoying, you're working hard. You're doing this work for the Most High God. See what I'm saying? We're gonna
appreciate it real quick.
Go ahead.
The book of Shadrach, chapter 2 and 3, verse 13. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted,
right? For
For he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Hey, when you faint-hearted, man, you're willing to give up when the wind blows.
Exactly.
Man. When that fire is hitting you, when that turbulent water is on the other side.
Exactly.
Because they talk about it in Shadrach. When you on that path, man, you know what I'm saying?
Second Ezra.
Second Ezra.
7.
When you on that path, man, you got fire and water on both sides, man. You going through. You was gonna hit on that. You going through all types of stuff, man.
Right.
All types of refinement and trouble. And what path are you on?
You on that narrow path.
Only
one person can be on it right there.
And you trying to get to the kingdom on that path.
Time.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the path where we're going to encounter all of these situations.
And not only are you on that path, stumbling blocks is on that path.
Hey, man.
Trials, You got wind blowing you this way, so you got to try to walk and lean. So you want, you know what I mean?
You got fire on the other side.
You got water on this side. You got fire on that side, and you got to walk on this side with all these obstacles in front of you. Israel, are y'all gonna quit? Are y'all gonna look at the odds and this is impossible, or are you gonna put your feet 10 toes down and endure?
Hey, hold your precepts, brother, to the end.
Are you gonna hold your ground and endure? Let's go ahead, brothers. We gotta end this, man. Go ahead. Continue reading. 21, I think.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Keep going.
And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
Right.
And naked shall I return thither.
Right.
The Lord gave, and the Lord have taken away.
Man, the Most High gave this to me, and the Most High can take it away. That's the spirit we gotta have, man. Hey, God forbid any of this happen to anybody, but brothers, look at the generations in old and see, right? What happens, man? When you were faced with affliction, trust in the Most High and endure that affliction. This is gonna build your spirit up. It didn't kill Job. He didn't touch him. Like Yahawah told him, don't touch him, and he didn't touch him. Job is still worshiping the Most High God. Let's read chapter 2. Salakia, 22. Not Salakia. Read 1 and 22.
Book of Job, chapter 1, verse 22.
Right.
And all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly.
He did not charge God foolishly. What's a charge against God foolishly? Why, God? Why you do this to me?
Complaining to the Most High.
You got to do this to me? Hey, the water, Raymond.
Yahawah,
come feast with us. We love to see you, brother. Brothers always support.
Hey, all praise to the Most High for you, brother.
Hey, he's not giving God a foolish charge, man. Why me? In this situation, I'm already in it. I'm already struggling. Why are you gonna hit me again? And again? And that's Job got hit after that. He was going through a lot. Go ahead and read chapter 2.
The book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 1. And again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Right. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
Hey, Satan is coming again. It's a regular thing.
Hey, better come when summoned.
God.
And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, right, and from walking up and down in it. So he's still going around and tempting brothers and sisters. Because what? They come in and serve the Lord. Keep reading. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Again. Job just lost everything. And the Most High God just said, have you considered my servant Job? Again. Keep reading. That there is none like him in the earth, and perfect and upright man, right? One that feareth God and escheweth evil. Go ahead. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him. This got to be y'all, Israel. What up? He moving who? What did he say? Read this again. I hear it. He said, thou movest me against him. Oh. So that means the Most High gave Job into Satan's hand. So, essentially you move the Most High into end. Right. The Most High God is doing all of this. It's, Satan is moving it. He's not moving in his own will.
Can't do that.
He's not. He's obedient.
That's right.
They try to make Satan some cheat code in the system. Oh, he an angel that rebelled. Right. And, he gotta. He's going again. Yeah, the prophet started wiping his forehead. He's going again. That's how them Christian pastors be thinking. But that's not scriptural. Keep reading. We don't read all the way to 10. Verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin. Yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. Right, keep going. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So now Satan proposed it again, that if you let me touch him, okay, all right, it's just material things. Now if you let me touch him, Let me hurt him,
I mean,
and then he gonna curse you.
I mean, yo, he just lost his sons,
He lost his sons,
his daughters.
his house, his servants, his flocks.
But that ain't enough. Let me
touch
touch him.
Let me touch him. Let me get him. And then he gonna curse. Then he gonna see he's not as faithful as he's proposing to be.
I just died. I'm gonna curse you. He's gonna curse you.
He's gonna curse you. Hey, he's gonna curse you to your face.
face. Come on, man.
I'll keep going.
Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life.
Right. Don't kill him. And Satan's not going to kill him, like Yahawah said.
Mm-hmm.
Keep reading.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord,
Right.
and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot unto his crown.
All over. Keep going.
And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal.
He started scraping the boils.
Mm.
Man, that's painful.
Yeah.
That is painful. So not only is he, he mentally messed up. Now his body, he got boils all over that he scraped. He's in agony.
Mm.
Let's keep reading. Let's see what Job does.
And he sat down among the ashes. And he said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thy integrity?
Hey, this his wife is talking right now. Right? He lost everything. Now his body is in pain and agony. And what does his wife say?
This sound like Satan.
Right. Hey.
This sound like Satan. Some of that spirit be on our people sometimes.
Right.
Let me read it. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still remain thy integrity?
Curse. This is what he's saying to Satan. Go ahead.
Curse God and die.
He said, what?
No, that's Job's wife.
Oh,
saying
that,
Job's wife saying that.
What's she saying?
Curse God and die.
And what did Job do?
But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speak.
Right.
You speaking like a fool, man. What?
Yo, that's what he said next.
Do it.
That's what he said next.
Hey,
What?
This Job when that's Job when
he had that Nick Cannon.
the Nick
Young.
Young. Yeah. What are you speaking like a foolish woman? Even though he's going through all of this, she's speaking like a foolish woman. Because he's not gonna do that. He's not cursing the Most High God.
That's right.
He's not going to denounce him. What is he going to do? He's going to endure.
That's right.
Like Malachi, keep me the book of Job, chapter 13,
Bring it out.
verse 15. Yeah, we're going to finish that.
I like right after that, right? He says, what? That's because that's what you had said
Right.
too. What? Job said, what? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil?
Come on, man. You expect only blessings from the Most High God? The scripture said, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation.
Right.
So what? You're not just going to get all good from the Most High. That's a false balance. You got to be built up. You got to be built up to be royalty, man.
Teach, brother.
Because what? You can't go into the kingdom in your current state.
Right.
You're not ready for that. You're not regal enough.
Mm-hmm.
You too proud. And what? You get up there, you walking, like I don't want to say Eve be. She walking to the walking in the gate. This is my gate.
Yeah.
And walking in. No, you're not ready. You gotta endure some hardship. You gotta endure some trials. Why? To become what? More wise, more patient. Brothers just want blessings.
Long suffering.
Right. Brothers just want blessings.
Faithful. Hey man, we don't even got the faith of a mustard seed.
Right.
We gotta have faith to get through everything that the Most High will put us through.
Exactly.
Right.
You finished that? You read to verse 10?
No.
Read to verse 10.
In all this did not Job sin with his lips.
Right.
What was it?
Go ahead, bring that up.
This is the book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him.
Uh-huh.
But I will maintain my own ways before him.
He gonna do what? Even though we slay him,
I will yet will I trust in him.
He gonna keep on trusting in the Most High, even though he's being slain. Even though everything is going against him, he's trusting in the Most High.
That's right. Out.
Keep going. Verse 16.
Verse 16. He also shall be my salvation.
He's going to be my salvation. Why? Because I'm enduring to the end. Job not giving up. And he had that. Don't let your situation cause you to stop. cause you to stop pushing forward. You know, let that build you up, okay? So when a smaller situation comes to you, you just bulldozing through that and growing from those bigger situations. You're growing more and more and more. You know, that's why it tell you, you know, Job's spirit was him enduring. Let's see where he got through that endurance. Job 42.
The book of Job, chapter 42, starting verse 10.
All right.
And the Lord turned the captivity of Job.
He did what?
He turned the captivity of Job.
Job was enduring all of this hardship, and the Most High God did what?
Turned the captivity of Job.
Keep going.
When he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before.
He gave him twice as much as he had before. Keep reading.
Then came there unto him all his brethren, and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him, and comforted him over all the evil the Lord had brought upon him.
Say it.
The Lord had brought upon him.
Hey, the Most High God told Satan to do that. So that's the Most High God handling.
It's all in the scripture.
He's sitting regal on the throne and telling things, making things come to pass.
That's right.
He's giving the orders, and the soldiers are making that happen. That's why the Lord moved his hand. Keep reading.
And every man also gave him a piece of money,
right? And
every one an earring of gold.
Job 23 and verse 10. No, not you. Job 23 and 10. And what happened? Everybody gave him an earring of gold, verse 12.
So the verse 12. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job.
Wait, better than the first. He blessed. Go ahead, read that. Finish that.
So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning.
More than the beginning. Keep reading.
For he had 14,000 sheep,
right?
And 6,000 camels,
right?
And 1,000 yoke of oxen.
And what else?
And 1,000 she asses.
Yo, keep going.
And he also 7 sons and 3 daughters.
Right. So, hey, the Most High God built him up better than before. That our beginning was, we had chosen kings, Solomon. We're gonna be greater than that. We're gonna be greater than our beginning. Us as Israelites, if we continue to endure to the end, we're gonna get what? We're gonna get that crown. We're gonna have the heathen under our boots, right? We're gonna have all of that. We're gonna have all of those great promises that the Most High gave us, man. If what? We endure to the end, all this hardship, all these obstacles that we gotta go through all this fatigue, captivity, going through jobs, a boss talking down to you all the time. I work with only Edomites. They be saying some slick stuff to me, man. I mean, y'all think I don't wanna get down? No, I gotta endure this hardship until the end. And then the Most High, Lord will the Most High give me that crown.
Hey, women that's not in order.
Right.
Just children that's not in order.
Right. You got to deal with all of this wickedness that the earth can't bring to you, man. But what you got to endure all that. Oppression maketh a wise man mad. That's Ecclesiastes 7:7.
And a gift destroyed the heart.
Gift destroyed for heart. Y'all, no, we mad and y'all just living in la la land. We endure it, and what y'all doing? Playing, twerking, just living y'all best life, but that's destruction. Man. That's the hypocrisy of the nation, man. Go ahead, read Job 23.
This is the book of Job, chapter 23 and verse 10. 10, verse 10, you want it, right?
Oh, yeah, 23 and verse 10.
Kind. But he knoweth the way that I take.
Right.
When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold.
And that's how we're going to come out as a nation as gold. We're going to come out of this captivity better than ever, man. And this captivity is terrible. It was stripped from everything. We started from the ground up. And what he going to make us is gold in the latter end. And our last end, we're going to be as gold. We're going to have rulership and dominion over all these other nations. Thus saith the Bible, right? Go ahead and give me this in Daniel 3, man. We're going to talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Salaki. We going to use their Hebrew names, right? A lot of brothers don't know their Hebrew names, right? Hey, prospects on the call. What are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's real name, Hebrew names? We know Daniel. I can barely say his heathen name.
Belshazzar.
Belshazzar.
Am I correct?
I think that's it. Come on, prospects. What are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's real? What are their Hebrew names?
I don't even know where to find it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow, brothers hanging up.
Yeah.
Brothers hung up.
Somebody.
Hey, a soldier, help him out.
I'll find it
Brothers,
I'll find it first. 100 push-ups for every man.
all right, go ahead. I know who that is.
Yeah. You better have found that.
Is Azariah.
Uh-huh.
Hananiah.
Right.
And I think start with M.
It does. It's Mishael.
Mishael.
So it's
Mishael.
right. That's
All the
the prospect Kahari.
Verse 66. 3 songs of 3 holy children.
Right.
The songs of 3 holy children.
Right.
Verse 66.
You found it? Very good.
Read it.
Oh, come.
Oh, Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever, for he hath delivered us from hell and saved us from the hand of death,
Right, man.
and delivered us out of the midst of the furnace and burnt flame. Read it.
No. Just hold that. We're
Okay.
gonna come back to this.
I thought you said read it.
No.
The Lord granted him a great deliverance.
That's right.
We got to read that. Go ahead. Read the book of Daniel chapter 3 and verse 1.
The book of Daniel chapter 3 and verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold,
Right? We're gonna read to 23, Salakia.
whose height was 60 cubits,
Right?
and the breadth thereof 6 cubits.
So this heathen made a statue.
Mm.
Keep going. This of himself, right?
They said the breadth thereof 6 cubits. You talking about the cubits of a man or a cubit of a arm?
Probably was a man.
It's the breadth, the thickness of the statue?
Probably.
That's crazy.
That's a massive.
That's a massive statue.
Go ahead.
He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon.
All right.
The Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces,
Right.
to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces
Right.
were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
They all gathering for this false image, man.
Mhm.
The heathen are wicked. Keep going.
And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Right.
Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
Man. Israelites was doing that in the wilderness. They probably doing that now. Right? They worshiping false gods, man. Going and bowing before this nation. Right? And all the wickedness that it holds. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And whoso falleth not down in worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Keep going.
Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all the kinds of music,
right?
All the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Man, keep going.
Wherefore, at the time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Salakia. Y'all know the funny part about this? Before Daniel interpreted the King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and he was worried, he said, "Blessed be your God."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He was just praising the Most High. But now he turned around and make this statue. And now he's surprised that Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael are not worshiping. Why? That's the crazy part about that.
Wasn't he get persuaded to for all of this to come to pass?
Man.
All of this worshiping the statue and all that?
Right. Keep going.
Verse 13. The Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, "It is true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Mm-hmm. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands?"
Yahawah.
Right. Yahawah. Ba'ashem Mashach Yahushua. Keep reading.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace.
That's right.
And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king."
Right. They have, even though they're faced with adversity, they're continuing to trust in their God and trust in Yahawah. Right? Saying he gonna do that. He's gonna help us. We're gonna trust in him.
That's right.
We're not gonna trust in your golden statue. We don't care if you're gonna put us to death. They got that spirit on them. Right?
God rather than man.
I'll die to keep these commandments, man. Keep going.
Verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Man, he said, even if the Most High God don't deliver us out of this, we just know we never gonna do that.
That's right. That's right.
Still, man.
Still.
They got these brothers got the zeal on them.
It's my time to go.
Go.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm still not gonna coon to the white man. I'm still not gonna do any type of wickedness. I'm not gonna conform to the ways of the world. I'd rather die, man. Keep going.
Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury,
right?
And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Man, he was angry, right?
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 1/7 times more than it was wont to be heated.
He's so mad. He said, "All right, make the fire hotter, 7 times more than it already was." He at the sight of him, he want them incinerated. Keep going.
Verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego,
like some burly brothers. Go ahead.
And to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and other garments were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the furnace slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
It was so hot, it burned them. Right?
As they got close.
As they got close. Read the 23. You're gonna hop in there. Give me that.
You got it.
Okay.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego,
Song of the 3 holy children, fell
down bound into the midst of the fiery, it's like a burning fiery furnace.
Right. So, while these brothers is in the furnace, right? Because this account it don't get into like what was happening in the furnace, but you go to the Apocrypha, it completes it. Right? So let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and go in there, see what was happening in the furnace while they were being pushed in there. What was happening? What was going on? Were they like, "Oh no, King Nebuchadnezzar, I changed my mind.
Yeah. Please have mercy. None of that.
Hey,
Don't do this.
don't do this, please. You know, no, blow the trumpet right now. We'll bow. No, just
They didn't say nothing like
they didn't
that.
say nothing like that. Yes, start at the top.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
This is the book of the song of the three holy children. Verse 1. And they walked in the midst of the fire,
right,
praising God.
They did what?
They walked in the midst of the fire, praising God.
These brothers was walking in the midst of the fire, still praising the Most High God. Although they were being pushed, and the fire incinerated the burly brothers behind them, right? And they're in the fire praising the Most High God.
That's right.
Trusting in the Most High God.
That's right.
Right? A lot of brothers will fold. That furnace, you know, as they getting closer, it's getting kind of hot. Salakia, Nebuchadnezzar, man. So, my fault. I disrespected you. My fault. You know, go ahead, blow the trumpet now. I got you. You know, brothers will do that. Brothers will turn on their God like that. Not these brothers. They zealous for the Most High. Mm-hmm. That's how you should be. We looking at the generation of old and saying, did anybody that called upon the Lord was forsaken or trusted in Him and was forsaken? Nobody that trusted God was forsaken, man. And we're seeing that right now. That these brothers was in the midst of the fire praising the Most High. They denying the ways of the world. Everybody was doing, everybody's doing it. Everybody's bowing down. All the nations are doing it. But they wasn't. Keep reading.
And blessing the Lord.
Keep going.
Then Azariah stood up and prayed on this manner.
Right.
And opening his mouth in the midst of the fire said, Blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore. For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us.
All right.
Yea, true are all thy works, thy ways are right, and all thy judgments true.
Hey, the brother is praising the Most High's name right now. In this time of trouble. Hey, we ought to do that. In this time, greater your works. Great is your mercy. Thank you for blessing our forefathers. We should be speaking like this. Me and the brother Kahari was talking one day. Like, these brothers are eloquent. He's reading the prayer of Vanessa. I'm like, that. This brother's eloquent. You know, but we go, God, please don't do this. And the brothers is talking. Brothers is saying, no, please, no. You blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorious forevermore. Mm-hmm. You know, brothers is more eloquent. Brothers is speaking with more passion than us. You know? Keep going.
Yeah. Verse 5. In all the things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment.
Right. He not saying why you deliver us in captivity, why you do this to us to put us in this situation. He's not saying that. He's praising the Most High. Keep going.
For according to truth and judgment, didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sins.
Man, it's your fault because it's our fault we in this situation. It's our fault because we move in the Most High God's hand to anger. That's what we doing as a people. By our works, we deny Him. Hey, but our people will talk, love the Lord, and I won't take it back. But in works, they deny Him. Keep going.
For we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from Thee.
Right.
In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed Thy commandments,
right,
nor kept them, neither done as Thou hast commanded us,
right,
that it might go well with us. Wherefore, all that Thou hast brought upon us, and everything that Thou hast done to us, Thou hast done in true judgment.
Go ahead. Where you at?
Verse 9.
Yeah, keep going. Go to verse 12 and then skip to verse 19.
Verse 9. And Thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies,
right,
most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
Hey, we in that position today.
That's right.
In those circumstances, man. Keep going.
And now we cannot open our mouths. We are become a shame and reproach to Thy servants, and to them that worship Thee. Yet deliver us not up wholly for Thy name's sake, neither disannul Thou Thy covenant, and cause not the mercy to depart from us. for thy beloved Abraham's sake,
Right.
for thy servant Isaac's sake, and for thy holy Israel's sake,
Right.
to whom thou, so like
No,
you said,
good.
skip to 19.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 19. Put us not to shame, but deal with us after thy loving kindness,
Right. Thy mercy.
and according to the multitude of all of thy mercies.
Keep going.
Deliver us also according to thy marvelous works,
Right.
and give glory to thy name, O Lord. And let all them that do thy servants hurt be ashamed.
Right.
And let them be confounded in all their power and might, and let their strength be broken. And let them know that thou art Lord, the only God, and glorious over the whole world.
Keep going.
And the king's servants that put them in cease not to make the oven hot with rosin, pitch, tow, and small wood, so that the flames stream forth above the furnace 49 cubits.
Man.
And it passed through and burnt those Chaldeans it found about the furnace.
The scriptures is linking up. Keep going.
But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows, and smote the flame of the fire out of the oven.
All right.
And made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist, whistling wind.
This is what happened when you trusted in the Most High God. When you stand fast in this faith, man, keeping the commandments and the faith of the Most High. This is what's going to happen. You're going to send the angel of the Lord to protect you. Those that fear the Lord. Those that accept the trials and tribulation like a good soldier for Christ. Keep going.
So that the fire touched them not at all.
Man.
Neither hurt nor troubled them.
That's right.
Then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed God in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Lord, God of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever.
All right.
And that's it.
Read one more.
Go ahead.
Verse 30. And blessed is thy glorious and holy name, and to be praised and exalted above all forever.
Hey, they praising the Most High God, man. Blessing his holy name for what? Delivering them out of the furnace. You can go ahead and keep reading it. Because now we're gonna see how rough this heathen get after he see the deliverance of these children, man.
The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished.
Who's what?
Shlakia was astonied.
Right.
And rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire?
Right.
They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God.
Man, you seen the angel of the Lord. Along with the three holy children, man.
I was just reading this earlier this week.
Yeah. Okay, show the picture. Man.
It's a depiction of how the Russian icons depicted it with the three brothers in the flame, the angel that came to save them, and Nebuchadnezzar and all his servants and chiefs over on the side looking crazy.
Right. They astonished, man. They wondering like, man, is he pulling through like this? Because Daniel was interpreting dreams, and now they coming out of furnaces that's burning all the Chaldeans. Right?
Oh, and you see all the people at the bottom who was bound down to the idol.
Oh, come. Hey, but look, that's what happened when you trust in the Most High God. You're gonna be taken out of those situations, right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Use it. The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and
You at 26.
26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire.
That's right.
And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
These heathens are going to be astonished when we come out of this captivity greater than before.
Hey, I was just bring this out.
Go ahead.
I precept Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, start at verse 1. That's where he's going. Going there later.
Go ahead. Yeah,
we
go
can hold it.
All right. All right. Go ahead. Bring out Daniel 6. We're going to go into Daniel was one in the line.
That's exactly what you said right there. You said right at the point. Daniel 6 and what?
So we're going to start. Yeah, Con, we're going to start.
All right, Con. The book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which shall be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them.
You skipped over that. You read that too fast. See, America's on a low level, man. Well, how many presidents did this kingdom have?
And over these 3 presidents.
Man.
Come.
Daniel was the president.
He
was the first.
Come.
3.
Come.
Hey, and then it's the king. Hey, he got some status though. He's not cooning. He's not selling out. He's still keeping the commandments. We're gonna prove that. Keep going.
Verse 3. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm.
Thought to set Daniel what?
Over the whole realm.
So he's thinking he loved Daniel's spirit. Daniel's moving only in the spirit of the Most High God. And what the Most High's trying to what? Put Daniel on high right now. You know, the heathen don't like that. Keep going. Heathen don't like that.
Verse 4. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom.
Right. Keep going.
But they could find none occasion nor fault.
They couldn't find a fault. This man is righteous. He's walking. He's not taking bribery. He's not going dealing wickedly with any other source.
His brother was full of wisdom.
He was full of wisdom, man. Prudent man, and keep going. How are they gonna find how are they gonna get around this?
For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him.
Right.
Verse 5. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God.
Hey, that's the only way we're gonna catch this man slipping. Is by making something, conspiring, and doing something against his God, man. And who's done that? So that sounds like Psalms 83 to me.
No, a conspiracy.
You know, confederacy, consulting together, trying to figure out how we're gonna get us at the bottom. Because when we don't keep the commandments, they trying to cut us off from being a nation. When we don't keep the commandments, we get put on low. We hate each other. We do wickedness to one another. Right? So that's what they're trying to do to Daniel. They're trying to find the only way we're gonna find a fault on him is if we conspire something and put it against the law of his God, man. Keep going.
Verse 6. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of the king, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions.
Hey, they was wise with that.
Yeah, they wicked as that's what they are.
The reason I say they wise with that, they say except for you, king. So I mean, he's gonna be like, okay, it don't go against me. So you know, I can do it.
I'm vain, and then I want the glory.
They trying to get his position. Now I don't like this Daniel. He's gonna be over us. I would rather it be some of our people. Right? Keep going.
Verse 7. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors. Verse 8. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the written and the decree.
Writing and the decree.
The writing and the decree. So
how they run things is that no, after it's written, after it's signed, nothing, it can't be changed, can't be altered after that.
Once he stamped his mark
Right.
on there,
His mark, his signet is set in stone. Keep going.
Verse 10, book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse 10.
Right.
Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed,
Right.
he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime.
He's continuing on his regularly scheduled thing,
Uh-huh.
praying to the east.
ain't no switch up.
Ain't no switch up. I don't care if it's a law against it. I don't care. No.
Windows open.
I'm gonna open my windows and I'm gonna continue to pray to the east like I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody gonna stop me on this matter. Because I'm trusting in the Most High. The Most High got me. I'm serving Him. The angel of the Lord campeth round about them that fear Him. And I'm fearing the Most High. So what? I'm protected. So what I'm worried about? Keep reading.
Verse 11. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God.
They knew what he was doing. They knew I know where to find him.
I know, yeah.
So we just gonna walk
They
up on
probably
him.
knew what time he was praying.
Right.
They probably paid one of the servants to let me know what time.
Right. What time does he pray? We're gonna walk up on him. Ask, coincidentally, just find him. Keep going.
Verse 12. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree.
Right.
Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee,
Right.
O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, This thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day.
All right. He's still praying. He's still praying to his God, even though you signed the petition to say you can't do that. So what? And it altered, if not, so what?
Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with him. It's like it with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him.
Hey, this king right here, he really liked David. He's
Daniel.
seeing
Daniel.
Oh, Salah. Daniel. He's saying that, my kingdom is prospering because I have this Hebrew in my kingdom. You know what I mean? These Hebrews in my kingdom, and it's prospering. Huh?
He was soft when he put him in the lion's den too.
Yeah,
He woke up the next morning.
He's alive. When he closed, he said, "Hey, may God deliver you, man." That's what he said. Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 15. And these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be changed.
So like he stayed up from the sun up to sundown trying to find a way to get around this. And they
just hate
they wicked. You know it don't change. You can't find no way around this.
The king was trying to have a respected person today.
Yeah, right. That's why that's why they tried to that's why they wanted to kill him, man, because he was so liked from the king.
Verse 16. And the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee.
Keep going.
And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting.
The king was fasting for Daniel.
That's crazy, right? Neither were they instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste into the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions?
Amen. Keep going.
Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God have sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
And I don't. Daniel wasn't fighting the, he was trusting in the Most High the whole time. He knew the Most High would deliver him out of the situation, because he was innocent. All he was doing was praying to the Most High God three times a day. What fault, and they tried to, make a fault against him and try to conspire against him and make him seem like a villain. I'm a villain because I keep the commandments of the most high God, the only living God. So the Most High God delivered him, send an angel to cover the mouths of the lions, to shut their mouths.
Hey, you had pulled this precept. You quoted it. Let me just read it.
Okay,
the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him,
right, and
delivereth them.
Give me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 13. Maybe that precept.
Yeah, I got a little.
Go ahead.
Something to add to that, Daniels.
This
is the book of the history of Bel and the Dragon. Verse 33. It says, now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den.
Now watch this.
And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which God has sent thee. And Daniel said, thou hast remembered me, O God, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat. And the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately.
He said, you ain't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Hey, he said you didn't forsake me. He was trusting in the Most High, and surely he was not forsaken. I never even knew about that. The Most High sent somebody to bring him some food while he was in the lion den.
Yo, that's what I was going to say. Like, not only did he shut up the mouths of the lions,
right,
you know what I'm saying, so they wouldn't eat him, he fed him in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, hungry beasts.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the saints in today's time. We protected.
That's right.
We're straight. We're fed throughout this captivity. The Most High, us trusting in the Most High, man, we're protected and made sure we're okay.
And that was the prophet Habakkuk.
Right. Yeah. Hey, he said, I never seen Babylon. I don't know what the stone is. Man.
I don't even know what the den is at.
Right. It's crazy, man.
Angel yanked him up.
All praise to the Most High too, man. Because I've never heard of that.
You know, read, brother.
Right. I was looking at Bel and the Dragon. I'm like, man, I could. Let me read this. Put it in my lesson. I'm like, I already got a lot of reading in me already. Go ahead and give me 1 Corinthians.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 11? 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
That's what's going on. We try every work and what it is. Hey, read 13 again, so I can.
Every man's work shall be made manifest.
Every man's work is going to be made manifest. If you working in this thing and you get hit with the fire, now you faint, and we're going to see what type of man you are. But when these trials hit you and you stand strong for Yahawah, when tribulations come, you can't do this, and You can't serve your God, or this will happen, and you still serving the Most High God. You know, hey, it's gonna stand. You're enduring to the end, like the scriptures say. You got something?
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse.
Okay.
Oh, you got that?
No, go ahead. Read that.
Let me finish this, right? Or you
Read. You bring this second Maccabees 6 and 6. Go ahead. You read.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 20.
Right.
It says, "They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us,
Right.
and our wives and our children, and to spoil us.
Right.
But we fight for our lives and our laws."
See, it's not the first time people tried to use our laws against us
Mm-hmm.
and tried to overthrow us by our laws. They tried to make being a Jew unlawful, keeping the Sabbath days unlawful, and we're supposed to do that throughout our generations. Go ahead, read that.
Look at First Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6.
Right.
And that Lysias, who went forth first with a great power, was driven away of the Jews, and that they were made strong by the armor and power and store of spoils, which they had gotten of the armies whom they had destroyed.
I think he said
Second.
second Maccabees.
That's a lot.
Maybe I'm not hearing you right.
It was probably be.
No, he said second Maccabees.
Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to confess himself at all to be a Jew.
Right. It wasn't even lawful to profess yourself as a Jew. It was against the laws of the world, the laws of the land. But you gotta do this to get life, eternal life. So what you gonna do? You gonna fold or you gonna endure? Go ahead, give me First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 20. You give me First Maccabees chapter 2 and 50.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 20.
Read.
And it reads, "God, Salakia, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers."
We gonna continue to do these commandments. I don't care. I don't give a damn if it's unlawful. I don't care. I don't care that if I keep my laws, I'm gonna die, man. I don't care. I'm gonna keep the laws of my God. And we looking in the generations of old and seeing that those that did it, they were lifted up. Those that did it were blessed. Those that did it were delivered. So what? We gonna follow the examples of our forefathers, man. Keep going.
Verse 21, "God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances."
Like the brother did in First Maccabees 1 and 11. He said, "I want to be a king. I want to be a friend of the king." And Mattathias slew that man.
Right.
He grabbed hold of him and slew him, man. It's no sellouts in Israel, man. Go ahead, read that in First Maccabees.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 50.
Right.
"Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law,
Right.
and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers."
Give your lives for what?
For the covenant of your fathers.
You need to endure. It's about to get harder than what it is now. But you gotta endure. You gotta give your life for the law and the covenant of the Most High God. Keep reading.
Verse 51.
Mm-hmm.
"Call to the remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
Right.
So shall ye receive great honor in the everlasting name."
A soak up game. You need to call. You need to recall them acts that your forefathers did. You know, some that we read and more. It's more out there. No, we went over. Adam went over Purim. You know, brothers. He had made a decree to kill all the Jews, man. And the Most High, what did they fold? It's over with. The battle's over.
Or the Mordecai, Sister Esther,
Yeah.
they did what they had to do.
Is he going back? Did he end up bowing to the Edomite?
Never bowed down to him.
Edomite was hot.
It's hot. Hey, and what? They hung that Edomite on the gallows that he made for Mordecai. Hey, it was made white because they were fasting and praying for the Most High.
Yo, how easy would it have been for Esther to be like, "Well, listen, I'm in the position of the queen.
I'm chilling.
Nobody even knows I'm a Jew.
Right.
I could just fall back, right? I'll still be good."
Right.
Hey, sisters now have to look at that.
Yeah.
Like, damn,
Right.
she was going hard for the nation.
Right. She's
I
tearing
probably
out her hair, putting dung in her
Putting
hair.
dung in her hair, yeah.
Sisters are probably, shoot, I'm comfortable.
Right.
And she risked her life. She risked her life.
Right.
Mhm.
Because it was against
You know what I'm saying?
the king's commandment to go into the throne room unsummoned.
Right.
He could have easily got rid of her.
Easily.
Hey, it was more on this though.
Go ahead.
First Maccabees 2 and 22. "We will not hearken to the king's words."
Hey, We don't give a damn about your laws, man. We gonna keep, first and foremost, we're gonna keep the law of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawah Shah.
That's right.
We don't care about the laws of the land like that.
That's right.
If it's going to transgress and going against our God, to hell with them laws, man. And if the punishment is death, so be it. Keep reading.
To go from our religion,
Right?
either on the right hand or the left.
We not tarrying. We not going on to the fire or the water that's going to drown. We stay on that straight and narrow path. Second Exodus 7:7. We staying on that narrow path. We not going to tarry. We not going to wait. We're not going to see it out. Is somebody going to die?
We're not going to contemplate.
Right. We not going to tarry to keep the law of the Most High. We're going to not tarry to endure to the end. We're going to steadfast in this faith, man. Keep reading in there. Oh, you got some more?
Right. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 52.
Right.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
All right. Keep going. Oh, you want to talk on that?
And I was looking at him. And it was imputed unto him for righteousness.
Go ahead.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment.
Hey, we know the end of Joseph. The king told him, the only person greater than you is me.
Right.
Keep reading.
And was made Lord of Egypt. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of everlasting priesthood.
Right.
Yahawah for fulfilling the word, like Jesus for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
Let's talk about Joshua.
Caleb for bearing witness before the congregation received the heritage of the land.
Where they going into the generations? Keep going.
David, for being merciful, possessed the throne for an everlasting kingdom. Hey, merciful for Saul,
right? To his brother. The 12 sons of Israel was merciful to their brother.
Somebody tried to tell us today that Saul was a heathen.
Saul was a heathen.
Yeah, we heard a lot today. It got crazy.
Well, on Clubhouse?
It got crazy.
They their own elders on Clubhouse.
They their own elders.
I don't like that.
The responsibility like cripples me. Like I can't allow false doctrine. I gotta help.
Right.
It's crazy.
Verse
58. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
That's right.
It's Elijah.
He was Jezebel was trying to kill him. It's like she did all the prophets, and Obadiah had to hide most of the prophets in the cave. You know, he was scared for a moment. The Most High told the angel came to him, you go this way. He did what he had to do, trusting in the Most High. I should have brought that out too. You keep going.
Verse 59. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael.
No, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
And a bad Negro.
Why is this man patting his head?
He's a Christian pastor.
Shadrach, Meshach,
and a bad Negro.
And a bad Negro.
I heard it many times. They always bringing them up.
They bring them up all the time, and they call them by their heathen names every time.
They don't know nothing.
They don't know that. Yeah, they don't know this.
Man, keep going.
God, by believing, was saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Who's going in there? Keep going.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
That's what Shadrach was telling us. I think it's more than that.
It's more than this too.
I think so.
Go
ahead. That's what we.
That was what you said. Okay. Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful man,
right? For
his glory shall be dung and worms.
We not fearing these sinful men. These people that's put in office, everybody that has power in this wicked kingdom. We not fearing them. We have fear in the Most High God, because what protection lies with that, right? Promises lie with that. Promises and slavery of the other nations is promised with that. Trusting in the Most High, fearing in the Most High. That's why we're not trusting in Esau's kingdom, these heathens' kingdom, and they crafty. We're not trusting in them. We're not voting for the white man to see what can he do for our community. Because we outside in the highways and byways on Saturday, trying to do stuff for our community, take them out the dust and set them amongst princes. right?
We already know what he's gonna do for our community.
We know what he got. We know what the Most High God got in store for our community. What we got to do for that, though? Keep the faith,
That's right.
the commandments, and endure to the end.
Mhm.
Because it's going to be hard. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
no
right.
cakewalk.
That's right.
Satan is walking right like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour.
Mhm.
In temptation, in trials, to make him faint-hearted. He putting your family in front of you first.
Mhm.
He trying to tear you down. But hey, through the Spirit, you're being built up. They say like gold is tried in the fire. Like, hey, you taking all the impurities out of you.
There you go.
They burn fire till they melt. I mean, they burn gold till they melt. They take the metals that rise up. They're taking all the impurities out, and that's what's happening to us. Some of y'all still got impurities in y'all, but y'all don't want no trials. Y'all want blessings, but you can't handle that right now. You can't. You gotta be tried. You got to. And it says, if you come to serve the Lord, what? Prepare your soul for temptation. Keep reading.
Khan, who was the last piece? We in First Maccabees 2:62 we just read.
We started at 50.
Yeah, we started at 50. We read on
62
down.
now.
So we about to read 63.
Oh, Salaki.
Yeah. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found.
Hey, you talk about the wicked man, the heathen. Today he lifted up. Today he's in the forefront. We see Joe Biden in office, Kamala Harris. Today he's lifted up. You know, Lord will the kingdom come when he's in office. He's gonna be torn down.
Yep.
Like that. And instantly it's gonna switch hands. Because Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
That's right.
That's the book of Second Ezra 6 and 9. Kind of Second Ezra. I mix them up first and second. Go ahead, keep reading.
And tomorrow he shall not be found, right? Because he is returned to the dust, and his thoughts is come to nothing.
Hey, that's like the book of Obadiah said. Jacob will be a flame. Joseph be a fire. Jacob will be fire. Joseph will be a flame, and Esau is for stubble. We're gonna burn them. We're gonna burn them to naught, man.
Get Sirach 10 and 8 to go with what the brother is saying. Sirach 10 and 8.
Khan, the book of Shadrach, chapter 10 and verse 8.
What's that say?
Because of unrighteous dealings in injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Hey, that's a good precept. That's linking up with Second Ezra 6 and 9.
Who's got more unrighteous dealings than Esau and more injuries?
Profane.
So the kingdom gonna be translated from him to another.
Exactly. There's nobody more profane than Esau.
That's right.
Who sold his birthright for most of me.
One more scripture on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 64.
You read the book of Psalms, chapter 66 and 10.
Book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the Lord.
That's what we got to do. We got to show ourselves as a people, a set apart people in these last days. Keep reading.
For by it shall ye obtain glory.
For by enduring to the end, being a set apart people, you're gonna obtain what?
Glory.
Glory, man.
Not only that, being valiant for the Lord.
Being valiant for the Lord. What's that mean?
Hey, standing strong, man. Being bold for the Lord.
That's right.
It's the precept, book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 24. Faint not to be strong in the Lord, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him, for the Lord Almighty is God alone.
That's right.
Besides him, there is no other Savior. He's the only power. He's the only power, man.
He's the only one controlling everything.
Yo, even Yahawah, man, everything is from the Father. He got to get his power from the Father.
Exactly. Yahawah right now is waiting for his father to tell him to move.
That's right. That's right.
He's waiting. He's waiting.
Hey, Satan waiting for the father to tell him to move.
Satan is waiting to try y'all right now. You watching the video, he waiting to try you. Right after this video, you're gonna be enticed. Job, hey, we got overtime for you. Come in. And now it's the Shabbat. I can't do it. Right? Some of y'all may need that paycheck. You know what I mean? But hey, you being tried through the fire. Go ahead, Psalm 66.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 66. And you said which verse?
Verse 10.
66 and verse 10. For thou, O God, has proved us. Thou hast tried us as silver is tried.
He proved us by trying us as silver is tried. Because you got to be proved. Like if you can't just, I'm going to just get the kingdom. No, you got to be proved for this first. Let me see if I can, like Shadrach say, prove a friend first.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be having a friend that's just here for his own occasion, just here for to order your service around. Because when you need help, he's not gonna be there, right? But the most he don't want no sluggers in the kingdom. He don't want no wicked brothers in the kingdom, and he don't want no faint hearts in the kingdom.
There's no room for that.
There's no room for that. Keep reading.
Verse me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Read that. Well, it's like as a people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to soak up game from the generations, right? The generation of old and apply today. We are what? We've been put in captivity, right? We've been tried by our enemies. We're being falsely accused and things in that nature. But we're trusting in the Most High as our ancestors did. From who? It's more people that endure hardness. We got Paul, Elijah.
Man, Paul went through a lot.
Right. Hey, I was gonna bring out that Paul went through a lot. It's a short version. And Corinthians. Yeah, if you could find it, we could bring that out real fast. But hey, our forefathers went through a lot, right? And they were built up and they were exalted in their latter end. We don't see a lot of those our forefathers, and Lord will in the kingdom. They're gonna be there. No, Lord will, we gonna be there to see them,
right?
Because these brothers are passionate for the Most High, burning in zeal and enduring to the end. And hopefully we can obtain that same spirit. We can pray to the Most High to have the spirit of our forefathers, man. Study the scriptures, study what they went through, study how they endured that, study what they did to become better. We can do that. But we got to look into these generations. Go ahead and read that in Wisdom of Solomon.
Almost up verse 5.
Okay, come on.
All right, the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
Hey, that's going to be us, man. For these, we were sent in slavery with ships. The scriptures is comparing that to being a little chastised. Because what? We are adulterous people, man. We wicked as hell. We deserve to be eradicated as a people. That's what the Most High told Moses. All right, step aside and make a greater nation out of you and out of your sons. Let me destroy this people, this wicked and rebellious nation. Right? These people that just want to be niggas, just want to be spics, just want to be Native Americans, man. Them that just want to live in this wickedness and sit in this toxic society. You know what I mean? Oh, he's trying to build us up into greater things than that. Keep reading.
God, they shall be greatly rewarded, right? For God proved them.
God did what?
God proved them.
Hey, we are being proved right now. Don't it's getting a little hot. Don't try. No, you got to endure that, because out of that you're gonna become greater. Keep going.
God. And found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace has he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering.
That's us. We're gonna be received as a burnt offering at the latter end. If we keep on enduring and powering through this captivity, what are we gonna get, man? Like Joseph. Joseph came out of the furnace. Out of his trial and was second to the Pharaoh. Who else we go through? The 3 holy children came out and they put on for the Most High God, man. Put them on anybody. Man, y'all, God saved y'all. The heathen was getting fast, man. But they kept reminding the Most High kept making his putting his hand out there and showing them what he could do. The brothers and sisters in Israel was in that captivity thinking that it was over, but the Most High kept showing his hand. And that's somewhat us. But what are we going to receive out of this? Right? Give me the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. And Isaiah 14 and 1. We're going to... Huh? Yeah, go on. Did you read 5? Yeah, verse 5. Yeah, come.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So look, we went into captivity. And who brought us into captivity? The so-called white man. So he's going to go into captivity. Keep going.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
So he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And who going to carry out these deeds? Isaiah 14.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Revelation 3 and 9.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
That's right.
And set them in their own land.
Right.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Right.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Right.
And they shall take them captives, who captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's what we got. We endure to the end. That's what we're going to receive, man. That's what we're going to get in our latter end. You know what I mean? That's what, hey, that's what we're looking for right there. That's our reward. Go ahead, give me the book of Psalms chapter 149 and 6. Go ahead, bring that out in Revelations.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
Go ahead.
Which say they are Jews,
right,
and are not,
right,
but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
They go, hey, the so-called Jew that's taking your nationality and making it his own, that's ruling everything that's out in this society, gonna make them come and worship at your feet. That proud, stinky devil, man. Keep going.
And to know that I have loved thee.
He gonna know that he loved you. But how you gonna get that if you don't endure? Read this. How you gonna get this right here if you don't endure?
The book of Psalms, chapter 149 and verse 6.
Right.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand,
right,
to execute vengeance upon the heathen,
Wisdom Psalm 5,
and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
How you gonna bind the kings with chains and nobles with fetters of iron if you can't pass the first trial? If you can't prepare your soul for temptation, if you only want blessings, how you gonna get to this point? How you gonna get to the blessings if you can't go to you don't want to go through the ugly, you just want the beautiful. You want that oil of joy for morning. Right? Is it more than that?
Yeah. To execute upon them the judgment written.
Hey, it's written I forgot about this, man. Joseph, the prophecy of Joseph having his brothers bow before his feet came to pass. These are the promises that I say must come to pass, man. If you endure, though, these ye endure. Because Joseph endured. He went into slavery. He noticed the queen lied on him and he went into prison, but he came out a greater and better man. Steady giving praises to the Most High, not taking nothing to himself. Job went through all of that, physical and mental pains, man, and still he got double to what he had in the beginning. That's beautiful, man. And that's what we gonna get, right? But the heathen's gonna give me Revelation 17, 18 and 6. Go ahead and give me Wisdom Solomon 5.
5 and what? We don't start.
Start at the beginning.
And it's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Go ahead, read.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Hey, this is gonna be us standing in great boldness after we endured to the end, endured all these heathen on us. We're gonna stand in boldness and what?
And so like stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him,
right,
and made no account of his labors.
Right. They called us lazy. We just niggas. We under them. Keep going.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Man, they gonna be shaking in their boots, man. Saying what?
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
Because we was in chains to them. They only see us as a disposable property.
It's more than that.
I gotta appreciate
right. And keep going.
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom he had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Right.
That's what they're doing right now.
Exactly. This is he who we had in derision. You endure to the end. The heathen are gonna look at you while you're in your glory. While you ahead of the kingdom, man,
Precept.
they're gonna be looking at you, man. This is the people that we had in Jerusalem, shaking in their boots when you walk around, not looking in your eyes, saying, "Yes, sir, master." Right? Go ahead and read your precept.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 7 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
Well, that's what you had?
No, I was going to Malachi. I was thinking Malachi.
The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might.
Right.
They shall lay their hand upon their mouth. Their ears shall be deaf.
This is the
Confounded.
right. They're gonna be confounded, man. This is why we endure our oppressors slaying us and holding ourselves not guilty, man. This is why we endure this constant captivity. Our brothers and sisters, I be evil towards one another. Us not having the fathers in our household. This is why we endure all this stuff, man. To receive all of these things, all these trials. They making stuff. They put stuff against us all the time. Put different laws against us all the time. But this is why we endure. This is why we still here. This is why we still pushing the word. This is why we still having faith in the Most High God. To endure to the end. Why don't y'all give me the book of Baruch 4 and 23?
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
Hey, I had to bring this out. The book of Psalms, chapter 58, and verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Right.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
Hey, that's a great precept, man. You enduring, there's going to be a reward for you being righteous. Being separate, there's going to be a reward. You know, you not always going to be having to step back, having to talk to the authority, the police officers. Nice, man. Those people are going to be trying to crack it in their voice, talking to you, doing what you say. No work on Saturday. You not eating that pork. Put that away. And if they don't want to listen,
Hit with the rod.
rod of iron.
The laws you put to death.
Break them to shivers.
That's what it say. That's what scripture say.
You got another one?
I was going to go to it because it seems like it's a segue to what you brought out. Revelations 18 and 6.
Go ahead.
Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double
That's
according
right.
to her works.
Double unto her double, man. For everything she did to us, double to her double. How are you going to get this if you don't endure this ugliness, man?
That's right.
Keep going.
And the cup which she has filled, fill to her double.
Hey, fill into her double, man. She gonna get it right. Hey, these heathens are gonna get it right back. Y'all, hey, people try to save them, and it's irritating because you must don't remember what all that they've done to our people. But you letting them go scot-free, man. That's not justice. The Most High is about justice, man. Not a false balance. You're not just gonna kill these people. The land is still defiled. The only way to shed that, the only way to cleanse the land is to shed the blood of him that shedded it. Salakia. That's the book of Numbers, chapter 33, 35.
35 and 33.
Go ahead. You got a precept?
Okay.
And then go bring out Baruch. I think he got it.
Yeah. You want me to read that first or my
No, you can read your precept.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 39. Salakia, verse 38. Arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord.
Hey, that's beautiful, man. The
The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech. Salakia, go ahead.
How you gonna get this if you're not enduring? You in the fire and you want to get out. How you gonna get this? Keep going.
Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
Right.
And in the midst of them was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns.
How you gonna get these crowns, man, if you don't endure, keep the commandments in the faith through all this hardness? You don't get this if you just, I'm gonna step back until it happened, and now, okay, I can make my entrance. Yay, we did it. No, you don't get that. You didn't run the race.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Get it
know,
for nothing.
they
You
the
ain't
people.
pay. You ain't pay the price.
They the people that standing behind the bleachers.
What they said? You wasn't with me shooting in the gym,
right? Hey,
Word up.
right, hey, that's facts, man. They behind the bleachers like everybody doing their runs, looking. Oh, I think it's the last lap. No, I was running hard. Good. Yeah, I think they on the last lap. Then they pop out the cut, and they feel like they sweating, wiping. You not getting no rewards for that. They gonna see you and get him out of here. He don't belong.
Hey, yo, appreciate it. Look, you got more? My bad.
And was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing,
Right.
and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
Now are they crowned and receive palms.
Because they would. They did everything that they needed to do, the commandments, the faith,
Right.
and endured, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was hard, and they deserved that crown, man. They deserved that fine linen on them, man. They deserve the kingdom. They deserve dominion. Why? Because they worked so hard for it. If you're not doing the work, you're not going to get it. You don't deserve it. It's not something that you deserve. It's not something that you can get with. Like, okay, I didn't do nothing. You didn't work for it. You're not just going to pop out with gangs if you're not in the gym. Go ahead, read your precept.
Just to go back off what Adawan was just bringing out, Second Esdras, and what you was bringing out, Second Esdras chapter 2 and verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Be ready to the reward of the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world, receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly." All your works, man, you testify your Savior openly by doing this work, by keeping the law, by showing yourself approved to the Most High.
Right.
You know?
Go ahead, bring out Baruch. We're going to close it out.
It's the book of Baruch,
We're reading the 29, so like you.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 23.
Yeah.
For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
Wow.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God.
Hey, we read about that in Wisdom of Solomon 5. They're gonna see it. They're gonna be perplexed by your salvation, man. It was far beyond what they imagined. Keep reading.
Which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God.
Do what?
Suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God.
That's what we got to do. Suffer patiently the wrath that's come upon us from God. And what?
For thine enemy hath persecuted thee.
Right.
But shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck.
We're going to do what?
See his destruction and tread upon his neck.
If we suffer this patiently the wrath of God, what are we going to do to the heathen?
Tread upon his neck.
Hey, that's beautiful.
See his destruction and tread upon his neck.
See his destruction and tread upon his neck. Keep reading.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies.
All right.
Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
Like he's gonna repent the Most High, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what he's gonna do? He's gonna bring his son to deliver us out of this thing, man. He's not gonna want to see the apple of his eye destroyed any longer.
Right.
But hey, we gotta move and keep enduring, waking up our people, continuing to do the work. Continue.
Verse 28. For it was your mind to go astray from God.
All right.
So being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Go ahead and seek him 10 times more, because you was the one thinking about, oh, I want to smoke. You was the one thinking, I'm gonna get with this girl this week and this girl. You was the one saying, oh, I'm only gonna get with this nigga for the bag and this, that, and the third. I don't want to be in order. I don't want to wear a dress. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to do me.
Yeah.
Y'all, as it was your mind to do that, seek the Most High 10 times more. Endure 10 times harder. Cause hey, it's gonna get hard. It's gonna get hot. But keep on going. Why?
For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
He's going to bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. My brother, the rock, the water for y'all for tuning in. All praise to the Most High God.
Con.
Hey, we like to open up this session for any brothers that held patiently your precepts, the water. I thought it was going to be worse than it was. To be honest, I had a whole bunch of Genesis. I was skipping around. I thought it was going to be worse, but it wasn't that bad.
Con, Lucky. I got one precept before we open it up real quick.
Oh, it is bad?
It went a while. It went a while. But if the people have questions,
Also, no
we're going to do a Q&A, and you'll be able to ask them. But read your precepts.
Go ahead.
Con, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 22, just to go with the last point that we brought out. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So just going into the last point that we was making in Baruch, man, it's, you know, it's coming towards that time where, you know, the Most High is going to pardon our iniquity and hide his face from the things that we've done in the past.
Right.
Our judgment has been accomplished, and now it's our turn to be in rulership.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And all the nations, especially Edom, the chief of the nations,
Right,
is going to, you know, have to suffer for their sins. They're going to have to suffer for all the different things that they have, you know, put his children through.
Hey, I got a precept. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Con.
Hey,
That's what we're waiting for.
That's what we're waiting for.
That's right.
Yeah, one. Hey, anybody got a precept on here?
We're going to be here all night.
Okay.
You know, I already got free.
Go ahead.
I'll just bring out one precept.
All right, Con.
Just for the whole.
Because I know you got.
for the whole lesson.
I know you got 50,000.
Brother got a whole lesson he
Right,
about to try to bring out.
on that precept on that lesson.
Bring it out.
No, it's Proverbs 15 to 24.
Bring it up.
The way of life is above to the line, that he may depart from hell beneath. So, as we've read with all these men, you know, throughout the stories, we see that they chose wisdom first. You know, wisdom, you know, is the beginning. The beginning of wisdom is fear for the Most High. Those who keep his commandments, you know, they have understanding. So, even in the midst of their circumstance, in the midst of their trial or their furnace, you know, they kept that fear for the Most High. Because they have fear for the Most High rather than their fear for their condition.
That's right.
Out of their condition. So we have to keep that same zeal that our forefathers had coming into these last days, because we know we're coming to times that are more perilous than before.
That's right. That's right.
It.
That's right. Con. All right.
Anybody else?
If nobody else, we'd like to open up the floor for questions pertaining to the lesson. Any questions pertaining to the lesson? All right. Does anybody have any general questions that's not pertaining to the lesson?
You got to check the chat.
All right, go ahead.
Let's do the Q&A thing.
All right, we're going to do.
Hold on real quick.
We're going to do Q&A. If you would like to ask your question, press *6.
Q&A session has started. To ask your question, please press *6.
You got to go to the chat.
I'm gonna tell the people on the live. Y'all brothers and sisters on the live.
They can still see you. Just talk.
Okay, Tom. Y'all brothers and sisters on the live, go ahead and go to the call. We just activated a Q&A session, and the brothers and sisters on the call actually are gonna participate in that. The number is on the bottom of the screen. Just log in.
All right. So if you want to, the first person, you click the phone, and he'll become active.
All right.
So the first person is Brother Terrence.
There you go.
Shalom, ma.
Shalom.
Brother Terrence, can you hear?
You're not muted.
Brother Terrence, are you there?
Just press next.
All right.
Press next.
All right, next person. There he is.
Brother
Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Are you there?
0447.
Shalom, shalom.
There you go.
Shalom.
Shalom, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Khan.
Yes, sir.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Oh, we muted.
All right, so
no,
Unmuted.
it's on 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1 through 4.
What did you just call Slacky?
1 Timothy chapter 1 through 4.
4.
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, verse 1 through 4.
And what's your question pertaining to the verse?
All right, so I got a situation where people think it's okay to eat pork, and only scripture that you really can mix and screw
Verse 4.
is this one.
Slacky. Can you say it one more
Can you say
time?
it again?
1 Timothy chapter 4,
No.
verse.
Oh, the question.
Say your question again.
Oh, question. So how would you misconstrue this and use this to say it's okay to eat pork or anything that you would like to eat?
Okay, go ahead and read it.
All right, the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, starting verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
He wants
Keep
the next,
going,
he
keep
wants the
forward.
next verse.
For every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving.
This the verse you got a question about, correct? Doc?
Correct, huh?
What was y'all brother say?
I say the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 23.
Well,
Many
before we go outside of this chapter, let's just read the next verse after that.
Verse 5. For it is sanctified by the word of God and prayer.
Well, we know what God has already sanctified. What
We know
foods
that.
He has sanctified. So this
Since the beginning.
since the beginning.
Hold on. I got.
Get
Let me get Isaiah.
go to Leviticus 11 and 44.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 44. For I am the Lord your God, and ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creep upon the earth. For I am the Lord. So that's true.
Yeah. You finished that?
For I am the Lord. Yes, 44.
So we know what's already been sanctified. So this here in 1 Timothy 4 can't be Paul telling you that it's okay to eat pork
Or any unclean
because
thing.
pork is not sanctified. We would not be sanctified or holy for eating pork. You got a precept?
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 15. It says, for behold, Yahawah will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Brother, has this happened yet?
Hey, brother, you asked me a question.
0447.
Not that again, I couldn't hear that.
What's your name, brother? Shadrach. It is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 15. It says, for behold, Yahawah will come with the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his rebuke with fury, render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Has Yahawah done this yet? Has the Most High done this yet?
Has he done this yet? No.
Okay.
No.
So what would you agree that this is an end time prophecy? Okay, so this being an end time prophecy, look what verse 16 is saying. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, meaning behind the doctrine, like what verse is that? 1 Timothy 4:4.
Mm-hmm.
Like behind the doctrine, like 1 Timothy 4:4, saying we can eat whatever we want because we can pray over it and it's sanctified. That's a doctrine.
That's a doctrine.
You hide behind a doctrine, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. That's being said by the Most High God, bro.
Real quick, let's go back to 1 Timothy.
Let me ask you one question. Do you think that you can get around that? If you can get around that?
He said,
Okay. You think the Most High God gonna say something through the mouth of his holy prophet and make it not come to pass?
That's right.
Because if so, Isaiah is a false prophet. And if that person is saying you cannot say that, and if you asking a person that believes in the Bible, they're not going to say that Isaiah is a false prophet. So what? This has to come to pass. So what has to come to pass? The Most High has to slay people hiding behind doctrine, saying we can eat abominations and swine's flesh. And I'm done with that. So like it was okay, kind of. Never mind. He back.
I was gonna go to Leviticus, but you already brought out. So,
read 1 Timothy from the top again.
All right, the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
So the conversation on the table right now is that in the latter days, there's going to be people that come up with other doctrines, with seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
Exactly.
Beware of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Keep reading.
So can I say something on that point?
Go ahead.
No, I think you're about to eat it.
All right, verse 2. Speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
Right, meaning that whatever they coming with, they stuck on this,
right?
And they trying to give it to you too,
right?
Their conscience is seared with a hot iron. It's not coming out,
right?
That's a permanent mark,
right?
Go ahead.
Forbidden, forbidden to marry.
This is one of the doctrines that they're gonna come with. There, and you can see that now. There's some people talking about, you don't need to be married. Some of these women, they don't need to be married. Men, you abstain from getting married to receive the kingdom. It's some people who will say that because Paul has done. He's saying he personally decided to do that.
Right.
But one of the first commandments of the Most High was to be fruitful and multiply.
A lot of people.
So that's a seducing doctrine. That's a doctrine of devils.
You got people who are going as far as to marry themselves.
Right.
If you ever heard about that now, like they got a whole different spirit on this earth right now.
No, I haven't.
Go ahead.
And to commanding to abstain from meats.
Right. And it's saying it's going to be people coming commanding to stay away from meats. There's people out here in this truth teaching that we should be all vegans. We shouldn't be eating meat. All right. Yahawah made it how he originally made it. We wasn't eating meat. All right. Genesis 1:29, brother. We're not supposed to be eating meat. We're supposed to be eating herbs. There's going to be people who come around that say we're not supposed to be eating meats. But why do we have a dietary law then?
Right.
So that's
what about the Passover?
Right. What about the Passover? You got to eat the lamb.
That's right.
That's a seducing spirit. That's a doctrine of devils.
I know vegans that eat lamb on Passover.
How you a vegan? I never understood that.
All right. That's another thing.
All right. Right. So start from the top of 3 again.
Hold on, brother. Verse 3: forbidden to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which God has created to be received with thanksgiving. Right.
And we know again which meats God has commanded that we can receive. We go back to the law in Leviticus 11 or Deuteronomy 14. Those are the meats that we can eat and we can receive. That's what he has commanded to be received. He never commanded for any abominations or pork to be received.
That's right.
So that can't be talking about this.
So like in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, they was sacrificing profane things like swine on the temple.
That's right.
In the temple, and Mattathias threw all those tables down.
That's right. Tore it all down.
One thing we got to realize is that Paul does not have the authority to rearrange or change anything that God has already said. And he himself wouldn't even take on that role of saying that he can do that.
He even told y'all that he only teach what's in the law and the prophets. So it can't be justifying that. It can't be. Because then Paul will be a liar. And hey, Christian won't say Paul is a liar. They're not going to admit that. So what? He's only teaches what's in the law and the prophets.
Right. If Paul was to be teaching that we could eat pork, then he would be adding to the law.
Exactly.
Right? And he knows the law like the back of his hand, meaning that he's read Deuteronomy 4:2 before. Mm-hmm. He knows that what the judgments are to adding or taking away from the law. Right. So Paul would never go as far to try to give us something new to the law.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. I agree. See, I understand that totally. Because he said, so my daughter's mother tried to teach my daughter that's okay. But when I tell her the truth, that there's never a fruitful discourse. It's like, well, I can do whatever I understand. You're living in the Old Testament, you're too legalistic, et cetera, et cetera.
Well,
I understand and I get it, but I was trying to know.
Right. Let me show you something.
Bring that to her.
Let me show you something in the New Testament where Paul is teaching the dietary law. Go to Ephesians 5:5.
You talk.
One second.
It's the book. Oh, when we read.
I'm not.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 5. For this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
That word there for unclean person is like the same as you would be unclean from eating the abominable things.
Right.
It's another precept. It's coming off my mind right now. This is the exact one I wanted, but and I'm sorry. Go up to verse 3. Go 3. That's what I wanted.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 3. But fornication and all uncleanliness.
Any way that you can be unclean. You can be unclean from eating unclean food.
Touching the carcass of unclean animals even gets you unclean. So if you touching it with your tongue and your teeth, you unclean. You purely unclean. It says in Leviticus 11, it says it says you can't touch their carcass or eat their flesh, man. It's unclean to you. Talking about the swan. Yeah, she would have to show extensive proof. It really don't even have to be an argument. You could just be like, show me in the Bible where it says you can eat pork. And she's gonna go to these or Acts 10. But we know Acts 10 is talking about men. You aware of that, right, brother?
Let's go to Acts 15.
Yes, sir. Correct.
This is another place where Paul is teaching about the dietary law.
So Acts 15?
Yeah, Acts 15 and 29.
It's the book of Acts.
Yeah.
Chapter 15 and verse 29. And it reads, that ye abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and all things strangled, and from fornication, and from which as ye keep yourselves, ye shall do well, fare ye well.
See, this first part of this verse, Paul is teaching you can't eat things. Try to your best stay away from meat that's offered from idols. But then again, he'll go and teach, don't even ask for your conscience sake if this is sacrificed to idols.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, but if you notice this is offered to idols, stay away from it. Stay away from eating anything with blood in it. We know that's in the law. Mm-hmm. We can't eat meat that still got blood dripping down from it, like Esau do. That's madness. That's because that's the life of the soul. The soul is still in that. If you see the blood dripping from it,
right.
Yahawah said you can't eat or digest the blood. All right, and it says anything strangled. That's also in the law. You can't eat something that has died of its own.
No. Hey, I have a point. Does your wife believe that homosexuality and pedophilia is wrong?
Good question.
Correct. It's in Leviticus 20:13.
Right. If she believes that, she believes in the old law. So how can she say you believing in the old law when she does?
She pays tithes and offerings.
She pays tithes and offerings.
She pays tithes and offerings. She believes in the old law. That's
the old law. If she believes, and she has to believe those prophecies, the prophecy of Isaiah 66:15. She gotta believe. She believes that Isaiah is a prophet, and the things that he say must come to pass.
And real quick, just to harp back on that Ephesians that we went to with the uncleanness, that word in the Greek is the G2508, and it's a kathartos, and the meaning of it is not cleansed or unclean, or in ceremonial sense, that which must be abstained from according to the Levitical law. So Paul is still teaching on the Levitical law here, using that word unclean.
You've got people in the queue.
A kathartos. That word itself is referring back to the Levitical law in the New Testament. That makes sense?
All right, so I got you. No, it makes plenty sense. I completely understand. And just a correction too. It's that's my daughter's mother too. That isn't my current wife, but yeah, my current wife, she's righteous and everything, so we good on that. But it's just more so the teachers of my daughter.
Right.
That's why I bring that up.
Right. Hey man, yeah, that's tough with dealing with children.
Right.
And the co-parenting and the other parents not in the truth. That's hard. I can only imagine.
Yeah, man.
Look, I have one more precept. This is the book of Acts chapter 26. This is the book of Acts chapter 26 and verse 22.
Acts what? I'm sorry.
26 and 22. It says, having therefore obtained help of God, I come unto this day witnessing both small and great, saying none other things that those which the prophet and Moses did say should come. So if Moses said that you can't eat pork, Paul said that. So, hey, brother, we're gonna go ahead and go into these other two brothers. And if you have a question, just come back in.
Just press next.
No, yes, I appreciate y'all taking the time. Shalom, man.
All praises. Shalom.
If you want to ask a question, press *6. Shalom. Yahawah Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Khan, just to repeat it again, brothers and sisters who want to get in the queue of asking questions, just press *6 on your phone so we can get you in the queue. Right now, we got Brother Terrence back up. Go ahead, Ak. Can you hear us?
Hey, shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Hey, my question is, can you break down Leviticus 2 and 13 for me?
2 and 13?
Fine, everyone.
Sit down.
All right, one of y'all brothers bring it out. Hey, how do I unmute James? He wanted to get in there.
Find his phone number in the.
I found it. Hey, Yahawah, can you hear?
Yeah, I just want to say something to that last brother, but I think he got off.
He probably still listening if you want to say it.
Let's see if y'all.
Yeah, don't kick him off the call.
We just went to next. You don't have to bring him back up. Yahawah, whatever you wanted to say, he can still hear you.
Well, other people need to be edified anyway.
Before we get to Sabbath question, a lot of brothers, come up asking ancestors asking, for that ammunition, to defend the doctrine. And y'all brothers gave that brother a lot of ammunition, a lot of precepts, right? To go against his mother-in-law. But
I wouldn't
say his child mother.
Say it again.
His child's mother.
His child's
mother.
Yeah, to keep her from feeding her pork and whatever.
Brothers be dealing with that.
So what I was gonna say, that
y'all brothers gave him a lot of ammunition, but that brother has to be diligent too and go study these things for himself.
Right.
You know, before he goes and goes throwing them precepts out, you know, he get cut, you know, dealing with all this ammunition that y'all gave him. So for that brother, man, make sure you go study these precepts before you just go trying to cut somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
Be diligent in your studying.
That's
all I want to tell the brother.
Go ahead, Brother Terrence Tazabah.
So you wanted Leviticus 2 and 13?
Another one.
I'm going to read for you. The book of Leviticus, chapter 2 and verse 13. In every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt.
Now, what's your particular question about this verse?
So my question for this verse, Adawan, is what exactly is the salt covenant?
The salt covenant. Well, this is the law of the meat offering. So it's just telling the brothers and the Levitical priests to, when they're sacrificing these different meat offerings, just put salt on it. Don't sacrifice no plain meat offering. Put salt on it. You can almost kind of see, you know, this is I don't want to bring folly into it, but it's you know, Jake like seasoning on his food.
Right. Calm down.
Jake like seasoning us on his food. You know, brothers also come to this same chapter to show that, you know, this Israel gotta be the blacks, because it show you how fried chicken came around. I think it's the verse in here.
Go to Numbers 18:19. Read Numbers 18:19.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 18 to verse 19, and it reads, all these heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto Yahawah shall I give thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahawah unto thee, to thy seed with thee.
It's a figure of speech. To have a covenant of salt is like we broke bread and decided this over a meal. So it's like a figure of speech. So like that's a covenant of salt. That's another example.
That's a good
question. That you can't break it. Like it's can y'all repeat what I'm saying?
Solidified.
Yeah, he said it's a figure of speech. It's like you would break bread over a meal. It's like an agreement.
It's perpetual.
Perpetual.
Like we sat down and broke bread and decided this.
Right.
It's like a figure of speech.
You know, salt is a natural preservative also.
Right.
So it like preserves.
It preserves. This is
ongoing. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that was. I never even.
Can I see your pen?
Seen that.
The water.
It's a good precept too. I don't want the water. You good? You good?
Okay, time. The water.
Excuse me.
Okay, come. Shalom.
Shalom. Hope to see you in the morning.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
How about you?
How about Shadrach? I wanted to ask a question. I wanted to ask a question about John 9 and 39. And I just really wanted to get either an understanding or a breakdown on what the last part is trying to say.
Start back up at 35. So you want to start at?
Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 9, and verse 35. And Yahawah heard that they had cast him out. And when they had found him, he said unto him, dost thou believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him. And Yahawah said unto him, Thou hast both seen him, and it is he that talketh with thee. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Yahawah said, For judgment I am come into this world, and that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind.
And you said your question was what?
On just the last part where it says, and that they which see might be made blind.
I mean, we could keep reading because I think because they were confounded too. The Pharisees and them were confounded too. So let's read down to 41.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, Are we blind also? Yahawah said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, We see. Therefore your sin remaineth. So what are you talking about?
Go ahead, Op.
Yeah, hear me?
Go ahead.
All it's really is like what Isaiah quoted, basically saying that the Pharisees see Meshach, Yahawah, and they don't want to follow. That's all it's really saying.
Right.
Read it again now. Read 39 again.
Khan, the book of John, chapter 9, verse 39. And Yahawah said, For judgment I am come into this world, that they which see not might, so I can see, not might see.
So those who can't see, those are the ones that they in their sin, right? Read.
Khan. And that they which see might be made blind.
Right, and those that see, they think they righteous. Y'all is blind because y'all don't even see the true righteousness right in front of you, which is right. Read.
And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, Are we blind also?
Now they want to ask, Are we blind? Because they want to see, but read.
Yahawah said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin.
See? So that's all it's really saying. Now go to Isaiah 6 and 9, because he kind of quoting this in a sense.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 6 and verse 9. And he said, Go and tell this people, Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not.
And that's what he's really saying. You see indeed, but you perceive not. You're not even seeing the Son of the Most High God right in front of you doing all these miracles, healing all these people. Come to the Lamb of the Most High God. Y'all don't see him right in front of you. Keep going up.
Come, verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes. Lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and convert and be healed.
Right, but they didn't want to do that. Right. But those Pharisees, they didn't want to do that. They seen Meshach in the flesh, and they didn't want to believe and convert, man. God. I was really going into God. Do that make sense? God out of one. I'll pray.
Hey, we need you back on the Bible studies out of one.
I'm trying.
Hey, are you good, brother?
God, that made perfect sense.
Hey, Shalom, I'm going to go to the next caller. Shalom.
Stone Mountain.
2771.
Peace, King. Shalom.
Can y'all hear me?
Khan. Yahawah.
Okay. My question is I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Can you hear me? Yeah, my question is about Deuteronomy 28 and 68. With scripture, can you prove that the it means holy?
That what?
That the it means holy.
the it in Deuteronomy 28 and 68 means homeland?
You see it no more again.
Read Deuteronomy 28:68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Mm-hmm.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Hold on. This is what you're talking about? You
See
want
it
us
no
to
more
prove that see it no more again is the homeland? That's what you're asking?
Correct. Yes.
What before we prove anything, what else would it be in your perspective? What else would we not see anymore again? If it can't be captivity, because he's telling us you're going back
into. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
But
Well, pull your precept.
Let me give it a.
But
Go ahead.
can I finish?
Go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
No, I was just saying that I understand from the teaching that it means. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we go ahead.
It might be a little delay on it. That's why. But go ahead. We hear you.
But I was just saying that I understand from the teachings that it means homeland, but I don't understand within the context because it seems like it's talking about captivity, like you said.
Well, I don't want to got something. If you don't mind, bring something real quick. If you read this from 63, right, 28 and 63, it says it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoices over you to do you good and multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you.
Go ahead. I heard what he said.
All right. And to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the land, right? We removed from our land. If you read it in context, you're talking about being removed from our land, being scattered throughout all the other nations, right? But we still talking about early on, removed from our land. So if you do read it in context, what it's talking about when it says see it no more again, it's talking about our land.
Right, and then go to the next chapter, verse 27. Start there.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 27.
29 and 27.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book.
Next.
And the Lord rooted. Oh, keep going.
Yeah.
And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation and cast them into another land as it is this day.
Right.
Wow.
And can you with that being said, we know that happened. We know that the Israelites was taken out of Israel and put into other lands, even scattered all across the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any time that they have been brought back to the land as a whole?
Yeah. No, nah.
They haven't, right?
No, I guess my condition.
He said what?
Sorry.
Can you hear what we saying?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't think y'all can hear me very well.
Yeah, I can. We can definitely hear you. I'm asking you, do you know of any time in the scripture that the Israelites have been brought back as a whole into the land of Israel? Or back to Jerusalem, should I say? Give me Ezekiel 36 and 28. Or 22.
It's captivity, though.
Right. The Israelites have never been back as a collective to Jerusalem. All right.
I got it.
And they won't be back as a whole until, we go into the new covenant when Yahawah comes back. Read that.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, and verse 22. Therefore saith unto the house of Israel.
You gotta read loud, huh?
Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, I do not this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahawah, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes.
Keep reading.
Verse 26, for I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land.
Right. This is the only time where we see, well, not the only time, it's the same prophecy going over and over again by the prophets.
Right.
But this is going to be the only time where Israel is going to be brought back into the land as a whole. We have as a whole, we've never seen our homeland. There may be brothers who may, like go back for the Passover, or even, the brothers and sisters who left here, I want to say in the 60s from Chicago and started a community there. That's not the entirety of Israel. We still have a whole remnant everywhere in the world. It's Israelites everywhere and have never seen the homeland. It's many brothers in many camps that have never been back to Israel. Have you been to Israel or Jerusalem?
Not at all.
All right, then. There goes the answer.
We'll say so.
Bring your precept up.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16 and verse 13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that you know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you my favor, so like you. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he driven them away. And it will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. Another precept going back to when we are going to be brought back to the land.
Right.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
And like the brother Aharon was bringing out, if you stay in context within the scripture, it says that the Most High is going to scatter us from our land. We're going to be scattered amongst all people. And then, going to be put back into slavery, and we're not going to see it again.
Right. Another precept, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and 33 says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will press together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And we still here to this day. We still in this land, man, held captives. Forced to do labor, no place of our own. We haven't been back home.
That's right.
Did that answer your question up?
Hey, brother, you still there?
It's a delay. Just let them. All right. Well, hopefully, Most High willing, the brother's question was answered. We're gonna move on to the next caller. Just press next.
You want next call now?
Just press next. All right. We got
Tanisha.
Shalom,
Shalom.
SOT. How you guys doing?
Good, sis. How you doing?
Shalom.
Ashar Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat to you as well. I have a quick question. I came across the scripture. I was kind of lost. It's 2nd Ezra 14, 44 through 48.
Wow. Look, I don't want to, we was just talking about that.
What?
2nd Ezra 14, 44. You're going to have to teach it.
For real?
Kind. It's about when Ezra rewrote the books.
Let her ask her question.
All right, let's read it. You said 44 through what?
You're going to read a long time.
44 to 48 to the end. 48.
This
All right,
is the book of.
let's read it. And you get. Go ahead, read it.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 44. In 40 days, they wrote 200 books.
Well, Salakia, let's get us some more context on it. Start at verse 21.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 21. For thy law is burnt. Therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee. or the works that shall begin.
Right. So this was a time period where our kingdom was being ransacked and ravaged. All of our treasures and things in the temple were being taken by the heathen, and our law was burnt. They burnt all our scrolls and the Torah. It was all gone. All right, now go to verse 37.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 37. So I took the 5 men as he commanded me and went into the field and remained there.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, behold, a voice called me, saying, Ezra, open thy mouth and drink, that I give thee to drink.
Right. So this is Ezra's, taking, 5 men into the field.
Right.
All right. And over the night, an angel came down to him and gave him some type of liquid to drink.
Right.
And let's see the description of that liquid.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 40.
39.
39. Then opened I my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup, which was full as it were with water,
Mm-hmm.
but the color of it was the fire.
Right. So the angel had him drink some type of liquid that was looking like fire.
It was full like water. Man.
All right, keep reading.
And I took it and drank. And when I drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding, and wisdom grew in my breast, for my spirit strengthened my memory.
Right. So the brother Ezra, drank of this different liquid from the angel. Now he got full understanding. He got nothing but knowledge in him, nothing but wisdom, and he's getting the memory.
Right.
All right. What we're gonna see is that he's getting the memory of the things that happened in the past. All right. Let's read. I ain't gonna spoil it. Let's read.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 41. And my mouth was open and shut no more.
Mm-hmm.
The highest gave me understanding unto the 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not.
Right. So Ezra now is spitting everything that he knows, all the knowledge and the past and the memory that he's gotten from drinking this liquid from the angel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's spitting all this knowledge, and the men are writing it down. Keep reading.
And they sat 40 days, and they wrote in the day and all night. At night, Salaki, they ate bread.
Right. They wrote during the day. Ezra is spitting nothing but bars, history, Torah, Moses,
right.
Egypt, all of this. He's spitting all the different things that happened to Israel in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He's spitting the things that happened in Genesis, because Ezra has to know all this stuff, because
right.
our law and the Torah has been burnt.
Right.
Everything of our past that we had written down on these scrolls, they're gone now.
Right.
Keep reading.
That's right. Verse 45. And it came
43.
43. As for me, I spake in the day, and I held not my tongue by night.
Mm-hmm.
In 40 days, they wrote 204 books.
Right. So here we read 204 books, through comparative text.
Go
I was going to add that, but
ahead.
Through comparative text, we see that every other translation says 94 books, but through some studies that me and the elder have done, we see from Genesis all the way to the book of Joshua, there's about 211 chapters. So we could say that this is those 204 books that Ezra's got.
That's fair. Is that fair?
Right.
That's the
law.
One of the understandings that we have from this. That's the law that we got, that Moses got from the Most High. And it's the history of our people all the way down from Adam to Noah to Shem, all the way down the line of the chosen seed. All right.
And then after that becomes the history of the Kings and Chronicles. So that's recorded.
Right.
So now Genesis through Joshua would be what was burnt. And
right.
we didn't have that.
Right.
Because the Chronicles was recorded.
Right. Keep reading up.
Verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when the 40 days were fulfilled, that the highest spake, saying, the first that thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read.
Right. It says the first that you have written, publish it openly. Speak everything that you know to the worthy and the unworthy. What could this be? Brothers, what y'all think
the
that
law and the prophets.
that's the law and the prophets. Give me Nehemiah 8:1.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Now,
And all the people gathered themselves together as one man in the streets that was before the water gate. And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel.
Right. This is Ezra the scribe. He's rewritten the entire law. Basically the Bible, the Old Testament that we have right now is because of Ezra.
yeah.
All right.
That's
The law that we had before it was burnt is now gone. All right. And Ezra, through the angel giving him that mystery liquid, has received the knowledge to rewrite the things that were lost.
Right.
And Salakia, the Most High did the same thing with Moses, save Joshua and Judges. All right. Gave him the law and well, I guess the first 5 books.
So it was recorded in the ark. It was in the side of the ark. Everything that Moses had received. Right. He saved it and kept it.
Right.
But Ezra told you that our law is burnt. They came, they ransacked everything. Malachi asked me this week, why did Hezekiah show the other nations everything we had in our treasury?
Now that was everything in his house. He let the Babylonians into his house and showed them literally everything that he had.
Man.
And then the next day, Isaiah came to Hezekiah and said, "Thus saith the Lord, all your stuff is going to be gone. These heathen coming to take it."
Coming to take it.
It's crazy how that works, man.
And you know, it's funny, right? He did the same thing earlier in chapter 14. If you
when at the very beginning,
at the very beginning, he told Moses what he should declare and what he should hide. In verse 1 through 6.
Right. So it's also fair to say that Moses knew the beginning and the end. He knew everything that the Most High had planned. But the Most High told him to hold some of that stuff back. He
said, verse 5 says, and told him many wondrous things and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, these words thou shalt declare, and these words thou shalt hide.
Right. It was certain things that Moses was allowed to tell the people of Israel, which of course was the law. All right. And there was certain things that Moses couldn't tell the people. He told them, hold that back. Don't tell these people this. And he said he knew the end. All right. It's the same thing here with Ezra. Ezra was getting the history, that we no longer had because it was burnt. But keep reading.
Verse 46. But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people.
Now, what we, from the understanding that we have, is that these books that he held back were the deep prophetic books, like the major stuff, like the Wisdom of Solomon. You tell a brother now that Wisdom of Solomon is the deepest book in the Bible, they'll lose their damn head. It's a brother that don't got wisdom or understanding.
Right.
The Daniel prophecies, keep those back.
Right.
Profess openly the law,
like the
things that's worthy for people and for the unworthy people, because they need it the most. This is what they need. They don't need this deep stuff right now. Give me
so I can real quick. How many other prophecies did you see in Revelation? You've seen it in Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? You see these prophecies in other places. They were just retold. So it's a possibility that it might have been some end time prophecies like what you was talking about that also came out in a different prophet.
All right. Read the last 2 verses, and I got some precepts for you.
All right. For in them, 47, for in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. And I did so.
Right. So Ezra, he made these books. He proclaimed the ones that the Most High told him to proclaim openly, and the ones that he told him to hide, he put them aside and saved them for the people who actually, had the wisdom, the understanding, and the foundation, the fountain of wisdom. Give me Sirach 3:29 and Proverbs 26:9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 29. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
Right. So these are the people who was able to see these books that was hid, that Ezra's held back.
Right.
The prudent, the wise. Because you give it to somebody that's a babe, they're not gonna understand what the hell going on. Their head gonna be spinning. They're gonna probably be confounded and lose belief in the whole book, because now they done got into something real deep that they have no idea, because
stumbling block.
Right, it's gonna become a stumbling block because they don't know the milk. Get the Proverbs 26 and 9.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 9. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools.
Read it again. I can read loud.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 9. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools.
Right. It's to their destruction.
Right.
That parable, that deep wisdom, they don't know what to do with that.
Right.
Does that answer your question, sis?
Thank you very much.
All praises.
Shalom.
All right, the next caller,
Booker Chandler.
Shalom.
How about Shema Shabbat?
Booker Chandler, can you hear us?
Shalom, Aliyah, mother.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, I hope all y'all had a great program.
Come, you as well.
Rock it down. So I got a quick question, kind of pertaining to what the brother has said a while ago. I think it's Brother Terry. He brought up about the salt covenant with on the offerings. And so my question is, when it comes to the Passover lamb, are we supposed to be seasoning that meat with salt?
And I think that's what it say, isn't it? It say that we're supposed to season it with salt.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing you're supposed to season.
You know what I said? Should be in Exodus 12, if I'm not mistaken. Salaki, I restate your question.
All right, so dealing with the Passover,
This one says.
are we supposed to season that lamb with salt?
I don't think this one say that.
Time. Give me 1 second. Okay.
I think
Which one? If you got it, bring it out.
I have it right here.
Exodus 12 and 5.
You see that? It says salt with
Read that, Derek.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, and verse 5.
Yeah.
Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from sheep or from the goats,
Keep reading.
and ye shall keep it until the 14th day in the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts.
That's not it.
This is not it. That's what I was saying.
Keep reading though.
Come. And therein they shall eat, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herb they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw or sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, but his head with his legs, and put the pertinence thereof, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that ye retain of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahawah's Passover, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will Salaki, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and
That's it on that. That's not what we wanted. I don't know. You know what it said?
There's a doctrine that says you cannot season your Passover.
Yeah, see, it's not a 16 either.
We actually discussed this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this.
Damn, I thought that was the account. Bear with us, Israel. Bear with us.
Try to get the account numbers. Go to Numbers chapter 9.
Over the shop.
Passover observed in the morning. So around the 5 days. Belated Passover. Yeah, I don't see that in there either.
Try Exodus 12 and 40. Keep reading though on Exodus 12 and 40.
Passover.
Doesn't go into that?
13 starts going into the Passover.
That's going into who can attend.
I can't put my finger on it right now. But that's the way we observed it. And that's the way it was taught to us by elders. That you can only season it with salt. That's all you can do. You season the Passover lamb with salt, you eat bitter herbs and unleavened bread for the entire week. Terrell says Ezekiel 43 and 22. Captain Icarus.
You said Ezekiel 43 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 43 and verse 22. On the second day, thou shalt offer a kid of the goats without blemish for a sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar, and they shall cleanse it with the bullock. Thou hast made an end of cleaning it, and thou shalt offer young bullock without blemish, and a ram without the flock without blemish. And
is that what you wanted, Terrell? Icarus? Yeah. There's no prohibition that you can't put salt on it. The key thing is to eat it in haste.
Mm-hmm.
Because the memorial is about you're vacating Egypt in haste. So that's why the bread did not have time to rise. Can they hear what I'm saying? Or y'all
Can you hear him? They can hear you.
Can you hear him, brother?
No, I can't hear him. There's an echo.
He said no.
Repeat what I said. Now, Araya is showing you that in Leviticus 2 and 13, all meat offerings must be seasoned with salt. But we're talking about the Passover lamb.
All right.
And there's a doctrine saying that you cannot season the lamb. You see? But there is no thou shalt not. So the observance is mainly key. Look, go to Exodus 12 and 8. And then when you combine that with Leviticus 2 and 13, you get the sense that it's okay to put salt on this lamb. But remember, where there is no law, there is no transgression. Yo, can they hear?
Can you hear, brother?
Come on.
Repeat what I said.
All right, so you said go to
Exodus 12, 8.
Exodus 12 and 8.
13 together.
And Leviticus 2 and 13.
But look, there's no law that's going to say you cannot put seasoning on the lamb, right? So we're not going to make a law where no law exists. But read Leviticus 2:13.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 2 and verse 13. And every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt.
So that's common for you to do. So with that understanding,
right,
it's a small thing to season the Passover lamb with salt because you have to roast it with fire and cook it.
Right.
Right? So that's where the One West schools give you the permission to season your Passover lamb with salt. People that's saying you can't do it would have to produce a law that says you cannot season your lamb with salt. Right?
Yeah, I never seen a law.
And there is no law.
Right.
The only prohibition of the Passover is what?
Gotta eat.
What is the only thing you cannot do during the days of unleavened bread? You cannot eat what?
Nothing. I think he wants y'all to answer.
What did he say? Say it again.
Leaven out of wine.
There you go. You can't eat leaven. So for people to say that you cannot put salt on your lamb, they stretching it because there was no such prohibition. You have to eat it with haste. It has to be roasted with fire, so you can't boil it. You can't bake it. You have to barbecue.
Right.
And pursuant to Leviticus 2 and 13, it is common that all of our oblations or sacrificial meat was seasoned with salt. So that's the way brothers see it. You know, I had to leave it right there. There's no reason to stretch it.
You understand that?
Out of water.
Now, if you're trying to make some damn jerk lamb, you're doing too much.
At least for the cedar meal. Seder meal.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom, man.
Oh, and they cannot keep leftovers.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't keep leftovers. You would either have to burn it or throw it away.
Burn it.
Or throw it away. As long as there ain't no leftovers.
Shalom.
Hey, I don't want to have one question, right? So pursuant to Baruch 1 and 15 and Daniel 9, can I get a proper breakdown on how to break down the confusion of faces?
The who?
Confusion of faces.
He said Baruch 1 and 18.
No, it's midnight.
Baruch 1 and 15.
This is gonna be probably the last question we take.
Look, SOT doctrine, confusion of face means shame. We understand that. We do not believe that confusion of face means that they will look like different people. We don't teach that. So just make sure you know that. That's what he's after. There's no reason to
Did you?
Go ahead, when I read it.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse 15. And ye shall say, to the Lord our God belongeth righteousness, but unto us the confusion of faces, as it is come to pass this day unto them of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
And you said Daniel 9 and what?
I started 9 and 7 out of 1. 9 and 7 through 13 is the holy count.
And just so it's made known, the way SOT teaches confusion of face, we teach, that Israel will be shame-faced. We don't teach that it'll be us looking like different people. That's not what we teach. Confusion of faces is. Confusion of face is. But he said Daniel 9 and what?
7. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespasses, that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our king, to our princes, and unto our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our God belongeth mercy and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him.
Because we go to the Hebrew, it doesn't support you. Now, Israel being a speckled bird, we see as the differences in the look, right? Also, Ephraim is a cake not turned. We see as a difference in the look. But confusion of face, when you go into the Hebrew, it is really talking about speaking to our shame. And there's precepts that back that. I want to give a footnote. Icarab brought out Ezekiel 43 and verse 24 speaks about adding salt to the oblation, which you can add to your list of precepts, like Leviticus 2 and 13, which can lead you to the understanding that it is not a stretch that they would add salt to the Passover lamb.
Because it's like
it's like a meat offering, right?
That's it. I mean, I can see where it's saying, like, right there where it sounds like, we would be ashamed for. I can see that too.
Now you're in captivity.
Well, Khan, Israel, we're gonna wrap it up on the live.
Did that answer your question, brother? That we are acknowledging, being in all these other lands, trying to come back to our God, and we're shamefaced, like gonna have to humble down to the point where brothers ashamed of serving other gods, going off, being like the heathen.
Shadrach says, what happens if you can't barbecue the lamb?
What do you mean, what happens if you can't? Come feast with us.
Yeah, that's right. You coming to Passover, ain't you?
I'm probably talking about for his family.
Hey, you gotta cook the lamb. You gotta cook it.
I told him you gotta
put it on fire. Yeah, brothers bought little hibachis just for the Passover. You gotta do what you gotta do. Put on the stove.
Yeah.
So whatever you got.
But that was the last question, Israel. For those on the YouTube, we about to close it out. We're gonna pray. We're not gonna pray on the YouTube. For everybody watching on the YouTube, we're gonna be at camp tomorrow, Woodruff Park, 3 p.m. We got the new moon coming March 12th. That's the start of our new year. And then we got the Passover coming March 25th. Anybody who's looking to celebrate the Passover with us in Atlanta, shoot us an email at SonsOfThunderIsraelites@gmail.com, RSVP, and let us know how many people you plan on bringing so we can accommodate. If you can't make it to our campsite tomorrow, we'll always be live on Facebook. Go follow us on Facebook at Sons of Thunder Israelites on Facebook. All right, go ahead, close this out.
Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Barakatham. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Shamaratham. Shalom Israel. Oh, Esau.
Can't get away from it.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.